Welcome, everyone, to the Islanders Never Say Die's live coverage of the New York Islanders against the Winnipeg Jets. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the grumpy old man. They say there's no shame in his game because he is always the same.
That's me.
Grumpy, we're coming to you guys live Friday evening. The Islanders facing off against the Winnipeg Jets. Islanders coming off of a dominant performance and win against the Columbus Blue Jackets. I couldn't count that high. That's how many goals the Islanders scored and hung up on the Columbus Blue Jackets. I think it was 5 or 6-0. Fantastic performance by the team. And the Islanders are in the second half of a back-to-back now, facing off tonight against the Winnipeg Jets.
And they pretty much were about a minute and a half into the game, and much more physical game than we're used to seeing, certainly. Winnipeg came out a little bit aggressive to start the game, and we were right there for them. Varlamov's in net, and Zdeno Chara is back on defense.
Yep, there he is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thought we had a little bit of resurgence. We thought we started looking a little bit more competent on the defensive side of the puck. Expect things to change now with Big Z back in the lineup. But I'll be honest with you, I was kind of a little shocked by yesterday's performance. I mean, Columbus is they're no slouch, grumpy old man, but I wasn't expecting us to beat them as handily as we did.
Your audio is in and out.
Okay, grumpy, is your internet having an issue?
No, my internet is not having an issue.
Okay. Well, anyway, Grump, I just now have another puck drop there at 18 minutes and 2 seconds, just so you and I are going to be aligned, Grumpy.
Well, I'm way ahead of you, so
why don't you hit pause, Grumpy? Why don't you hit pause at 7:50?
Why don't we wait till next stoppage of play, and then we'll do face-off. This way I'll seem like I know a lot more than you know about what's going on in the game.
Yeah, okay. There it is. Typical Grump. Always has to be ahead. Always ruining the fun of the show.
I can only hope that the whole first period goes off without a stoppage in play.
That would make you a happy man, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Oh, man. A little different. We haven't had a Friday evening game in quite some time.
It's been quite a while.
Not saying I'm disappointed with it, but
there's a stoppage in play at 17-17. You let me know when puck drop is.
Okay, I will let you know, Grumpy.
And AJ's calling the game with Brendan today.
Oof. Not good. Have you literally said nothing, Grump?
No, I haven't said anything. I'm waiting for you to say, yes, here we go.
I got puck drop. I had to get everything rearranged. I had a calamitous start to the show. Had a whole bunch of things falling all over the place.
And Kiefer Bellows is back in the lineup. He was out last night. He was a healthy scratch for Otto Koivula.
Okay.
Oof.
What?
That was a wide open backdoor chance for Winnipeg there that just misconnected.
As good as we looked yesterday, we're not off to a great first 4 minutes. Whatever. It's early yet, though.
Matt Barzal is also back today.
Yes. Both. I thought you mentioned it at the top. Yeah, both Zdeno Chara and Matt Barzal are both on the ice tonight.
There's Josh Bailey. Somehow, once again, back on the first line. Don't ask me how.
He had a goal and 2 assists, so that's enough reason to put him back on the first line, Grump. You don't remember?
Like I said, he's just good enough. Ugh, terrible. He's just good. He'll have one good game a good game a quarter or half a season, and he gets cemented back on the first line. I don't get it. Don't understand it. Maybe they're trying to showcase him for a deal also, with the deadline being, a week and a couple days?
A week. You're about a week away from the NHL trade deadline, Grump.
Week and 3 days. It'll be Monday.
Yep. Again, about a week. About a week away, Grump. Lots of movement, hopefully, is on the horizon for Islanders. Look at that chance and opportunity by Andy Green. Just not able to connect down low.
When your defense is playing in front of the net, it says something about your offense, doesn't it?
I have no problem at all for pinching. We have a chance and opportunity.
In front of the net? He's not Cale Makar.
I'm just saying, I don't have an issue with it. If there's an opportunity, he's unmarked, man, go ahead and take your chance and opportunity. No problem with it. Oh, I'll tell you, Varlamov looks like he's getting shelled out there tonight early.
No, but he did get a little handcuffed on that shot.
Okay, when I mean shelled, Grump, it means he's facing a whole bunch of shots. What? I mean, would you say Winnipeg at least has 6 shots on net through the first 5 minutes of action?
No, I don't think we've been dominated at all, honestly. It's just a couple shots on goal.
No. Okay. Don't conflate or confuse him. I didn't say dominated. I said Varlamov is getting shelled back there. He's facing a lot of opportunities and shots against.
I don't think so.
Jesus Christ.
We'll just agree to disagree on that.
Okay. I'll let the stats speak for it, but that's fine.
I'm going to go out and come back in because you're coming, and if no one else seems to think that you're garbled,
yes, nobody else is garbled.
okay,
Internet.
I'll just sign off and come back in.
Sounds good. Well, Islanders, let's see. I mean, we're in a particular situation with the season where, I mean, the year is over. We're all going after just, hey, what type of draft position and spot can we get? And here's Grumpy joining us back again. Is it sound better now, Grump?
It does sound better.
Okay, perfect.
Matt Martin, 1-on-1.
Ooh, a little opportunity down low. Looks like, okay, they're letting a lot go right now.
They're double shifting Matt Barzal also.
Was that?
They're double shifting Matt Barzal, and he just drew a penalty.
Yeah, Kyle Connor.
Yeah. That whirling dervish, Matt Martin, driving down the wing.
They're not double shifting Matt Barzal. That was Matt Martin just not getting off there for the change of the shift.
Okay. All I'm saying is he came flying off the bench. Barzal flying off the bench.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. Not being double shifted though. But the Islanders are on the power play. Time to see if we're able to make them pay. Our power play's played very well as of late. Noah Dobson's really stepped up in a big way and has been very productive for this power play unit. Something that we would love.
Oh my God.
We're falling asleep. My God.
I think they were saying that the puck went up into the netting and they were pointing up in the netting. They just let the play continue.
Christ almighty. My God.
They were pointing up in the netting and it must have been pretty obvious.
My goodness gracious, I'll tell you. That's not great.
Certainly not the way you want to start up a power play, right? Let's be honest.
Yes. What are you just watching tonight, Grumpy? Is that what we're doing? That's fine. I just didn't know what type of environment we're having. More of a chilled, laid back one. Grumpy, do you look like you woke up from a nap? Your hair looks a little bit poofed on the side.
Yeah, I just fixed my hair because I got new phones. I was on the line with
Did you just say I was on? Oh, look at that opportunity and chance. A loose puck almost finds its way to Brock Nelson, who's able to bury one. Oh, there he is, Brock Nelson. He buries one past Hellebuyck. Look at that. Brock Nelson continues his hot form as well. Another goal and tally to add to his productive season. What's going to be a career high in goals for him this season?
I find it interesting that all of a sudden his game is starting to take off since we have no shot of making the playoffs. Interesting. There are a lot of players like that, honestly. When, the game really counts, not too much. But as soon as the season's over, oh, yeah, we're going to light it up now.
Is that what you think it is?
Absolutely.
Honestly, that's when Hellebuyck should have saved.
Yeah. It was
nice pass by Bavillier. Oh, actually, it was a really good shot. Never mind.
Yeah, he needs to get over.
I thought it hit off of his arm and went into the net. Maybe it did a little bit. Maybe he got a little bit of a piece of it. But Anthony Bavillier's had 4 assists in the last 2 games.
It's because the second line has been putting points up.
Yeah, what did they score? Like 3 or 4 goals yesterday?
Oh my gosh. What a heavy hit by Casey Cizikas. Crushed the guy along the back wall there.
Yes, he did, Grumpy. You got to play that physical style hockey. You're always in that situation, though, where the season is freaking lost, and here we are. We're going to go on a whole bunch of games that we're going to win and look really competitive, and it's all going to be for naught because all we're going to do is just jeopardize a good draft selection.
Well, I still think we're going to be picking in the top 10. Remember, we play a really, really tough schedule, like the last 12 games.
Typical Islanders fashion is we win a whole bunch of games when it's meaningless for us. Historically, that's what we do. We're not in the playoff race.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-mm.
And now the game has kind of settled down. Turnovers in the center ice.
Are you in a zone, Grumpy?
No, I'm watching the game, dude. You can talk.
Jesus
Feel free.
Oh man. No worries, brother. No worries. Islanders are up to an early 1-0 lead over the Winnipeg Jets. We'll start getting some comments. Dan L saying, how happy are you, Grump, that Lee had his first ever hat trick and Bailey scoring a goal? You must have been losing your mind yesterday.
It was like Haley's Comet.
Wow. Scott Mayfield had a real prime opportunity skating in on Hellebuyck. And again, he rifles that. I think it goes just over the shoulder, but he had a prime opportunity to step into one right there to make him pay, but just misses the net.
Yeah, it was like Haley's Comet. Anders Lee, first career hat trick, and Josh Bailey scoring a goal, and both happening on the same night. I mean, what is it, like a solar eclipse, whatever they call it, only happens, once every 50 years or something?
Yeah.
It's just not something that happens every day. It'll never happen again.
You had to get your special solar eclipse glasses, too, so you can wear it without burning your retinas or whatever that nonsense was.
Hey, you know what? It took Anders Lee 59 minutes, 59.6 seconds to get that third goal. That's how close he was to not getting it again.
Right at the end, I'll tell you. And again, he is what he is. He's a good garbage man. That's what Anders Lee is. Simple as that.
I firmly believe that Trotz put him out there on that power play with a 5-0 lead to try to get him that third goal.
Could you have possibly thrown out different scenarios? Could you possibly have mixed something up with a 5? Here's the thing, right? A power play's played well. Why fix what's not broken and continue to let them build on what they've got going and head in the right direction?
I don't know. Last half minute of the game, let somebody else get a little PP time.
My God.
Nothing wrong with that.
Christmas said, puck is drop. What's up, guys? What's up, Chris? John Smith saying, yeah, Chara and Bailey on the ice together. Yay.
I think that's sarcastic.
A little bit. Nick D, what's up? How you doing tonight? Owen J saying first goal is going to Brock Nelson. Now Owen J, I'll give him credit. He said this way before the first goal was scored. We're just now getting to the comments. So Owen did get that. He called it right. Absolutely. Danielle saying, I like Friday night games. Absolutely. The broadcast sounds a lot better on mute tonight, says Andrew L. Absolutely it does. Oh, I'm watching that replay. It was a hell of a shot.
The funny thing was they had just tried the same thing before and Nelson didn't get to the spot, and then they just recycled it and it did work the second time. But I was going to comment on, and he scored. So at least it looks like they're trying to run a certain play that maybe they haven't done before, where Dobson dumps it to the one trigger position, which is Beauvillier, and he feeds it across to Nelson on the other side. The one good thing, Josh Bailey wasn't out there, because if Bailey was in that spot, he never would have shot the puck.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Bailey's just, don't get me started, Grumpy. Don't get me started.
But I mean, nice to see them trying to change it up a little bit.
What do you mean?
Change it up how they're running the power play. They don't run it with two snipes on both sides. They don't do that normally.
Oh, hold on. Beauvillier didn't have it. Okay, Beauvillier's not a sniper. Oh my God.
He's a guy who'll shoot the puck. And that's, when Bailey's out there, we don't shoot the puck.
So, AK, I'm just happy. What you're saying is you're happy, long story short, that Josh Bailey was not on that power play. Okay.
No, I'm happy that they changed it up and they had two guys on either side who'll shoot the puck. And that's something we haven't seen a play like that all year.
Okay, no, it's not a play. Don't call it a play. Stop. Don't call it a play.
I am calling it a play.
Okay, it's the
because they ran it back to back.
It's the personnel on the ice. I'm not saying it wasn't a play. I'm just saying it's the personnel on the ice. They've done that. They've done that sequence of movements and the sequence of passes before. It's the personnel on the ice is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm going to go with.
Oh, my gosh. Did you see that opportunity again? We almost had a chance to go ahead and score again. Kyle Palmieri just not able to get the puck in front of the net. Continue with your statement, Grump.
It was a set play. They ran it back to back. The first time Nelson didn't get to the spot. The second time they did. It was the same thing pass across for a one-timer. He just didn't get to the spot.
It was a set play. It's not the first time they've used that set play this year.
I've never seen anyone.
The first time that they've done
I've never seen anyone on that side take a shot ever.
Okay.
It's either Barzell over there, he doesn't shoot from that side, and Bailey never shoots, period.
They're not drawing up new set plays on a power play 50 games into the regular season.
Why? Okay. So when something doesn't work, you just keep on rolling it out there. You don't try to do a new play.
Hold on. We just had agreed that the power plays played well as of late.
I didn't agree with it. There's something you said.
Oh, gotcha. And you just wouldn't pick the head up.
I'm just saying that's not something we normally see from their power play, is that particular setup and play. We don't see that. That's all.
Setup? Yeah, sure. I'll give it to you. Play? I'm not sure. Apex Legends here says Barry must go. Nick D said love Islanders hockey on Friday afternoons and evenings. TJ, you sound better tonight. Nice to see Barzy with Bellows. Yeah, I'm on the mend. The allergies are starting to hopefully subside a bit.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see. I wonder if Parise is playing on the right side and Bellows on the left, or if they're flip-flopped.
What do you mean?
Parise is playing with Barzell and Bellows. Is Bellows playing left wing or right wing?
Okay, I'm sure he's playing left wing, and they're putting Parise. I'll pull up the lineup for you, but let me just do that for you, Grump. I don't know. It was a weird way to introduce it, but yeah, I'll just pull it up for you.
I look at these commercials, and I wonder why they have so many ugly people on them now.
Couldn't tell you, Grump.
Nice to see Barzell back. I was really worried about that injury. To be
Bellows on the left wing, Parise on the right wing. They've done it all season. I mean, after he screwed Bellows over multiple times and putting him on the right wing, he hasn't done it since. Bellows on the left wing, Parise on the right wing.
Okay.
What?
Okay. First of all, when he's played with Parise, he's played on the first line with Parise on the off wing with Barzell earlier in the year, and Parise played the left and he played the right. That's the way it was earlier in the year. That's the way it was earlier in the year. I just was wondering what it was.
Hopefully during the commercials we can get some sort of entertaining value. Hopefully we can get some sort of entertaining value from everybody on the podcast during the commercials at least.
You seem very argumentative today.
I'm trying to have a conversation with you.
Bad day
we're watching commercials and you're just like this. You know what, Grumpy?
I just said why they have so many ugly people on commercials.
You know, sometimes where you teeter like, like when people get, when they get really old, Grumpy old man, they just put something on TV and they get transfixed on it, just sit here quietly, just like, and they just watch the flickering lights, Grumpy. That's what I feel like sometimes.
Oh my God, you're ridiculous.
Rich A said, I got lots of popcorn for when Lou doesn't do much. Ugh.
Yeah, I got a feeling he's not going to do much either.
Daniel said, you sound clear, TJ. Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Dan. And then Andrew W. saying here, Sorokin better keep playing. I'm sure he is. He just didn't want to play him the back-to-back.
Very possible.
Can't watch the game.
Again, you have Parise skating on the left, on the right, now he's skating on the left side. See, that's what I mean. It's like, what's the formation? You have I don't know. They're kind of all over the place out there. That's why I asked.
Hold on. What are you talking about? Parise's playing right wing. Bellows has not left the left wing. What are you talking about?
Earlier in this shift, Bellows was on the right wing. I'm just saying, I don't know what he was doing. That was my question. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to have an aneurysm. Tonight, but you're going to lead me to the aneurysm. Yes. For those of you who are wondering, I will clarify once more. Bellows is playing left wing. Parise is playing the right wing.
I hate to tell you, he's playing right wing. What he's actually playing on the ice is right wing. I'm just telling you.
Do I need to screenshot something when I see it on my phone and just go ahead and pop it up and ask you, is that the right or the left-hand side of the ice? I don't know what else you need to tell. What's your conspiracy theory behind that?
There's no conspiracy. All I wanted to know is if he was playing the left or right wing with Parise, because earlier in the year, when that same line combination was out there, Bellows was playing the right wing and Parise was playing the left wing.
Yes, they did throw him out there for about 4 games earlier on this year, but it's been him being on the left wing ever since. And again, it's the right spot for him. He's not successful on the right wing. He's a natural left winger. He's not comfortable with it. Parise has played everything for the Islanders, left wing, center, and right wing.
Hellebuyck was not looking to get body checked there.
He got knocked on his ass.
Yeah, unexpected. I mean, it wasn't a devastatingly hard hit, but he certainly wasn't expecting one.
Yeah. And again, here it is. No Oliver Wahlstrom in the lineup tonight.
What a shock.
Mm.
Oof.
Wow, Grump.
I don't know what the heck Pulock is doing. He looks disinterested. Well, I think he's hurt. That's what I think. I think he still has some type of ailment going on that maybe it's going to take the whole off season to fix. I don't know.
I don't. Grump, I just think maybe he's a guy who plays better with Adam Pelech on the ice. Simple as that.
Well, that's who he's been playing with.
Well, you look at when a whistle blows right here, he's with Zdeno Chara on the ice. I'm just saying. Yes, when he, I mean, that was in a position they were, I think, in change, and you had Pajot playing defense back there with Adam Pelech, as Pulock looked like he was making a transition and change, but
right, and then Pelech changed just before the whistle went, and Pulock didn't have a chance to.
Tom White saying, "I'd love to have a Kyle Connor on this Islander team.
He's really good. He's really good. Second round pick too for them. That's a good second round pick right there.
They've also missed a lot of picks too, just like the Islanders have.
I'm just saying that's a good second round pick. Mm-hmm. The value you get in the second round. I mean, he's like a point per game guy.
He's more than a point a game guy. He leads the team in scoring, and he's on pace for like 90, a little over 90 points this year. So he's had a great season. That being said, I mean, the Winnipeg team and Hellebuyck is just, I mean, Hellebuyck is not the netminder for them going forward. And defensively, they have not been good this season. It's as simple as that.
Hellebuyck is signed to a long-term deal by them, is he not?
That's correct. He is, but he's not. He is signed to a long-term deal, but he has not been what they originally had thought when they had signed him to that long-term contract. That's sometimes what you get, though.
Well, okay. You said he's not the long-term, really nice hustle.
He's not the answer for them. He's not the long-term solution. I know he's there long-term. Is Connor Hellebuyck the solution on that team, Grumpy?
He's not going anywhere.
I asked you, is he the solution? Is he the answer? So he was
a Vezina Trophy. Didn't he win the Vezina Trophy one year?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I know he was up for it a couple of years.
Can we answer the question? Do you think he's the answer long-term for them? I know he signed long-term, but is he the answer? That should be so.
Okay. Well, we'll see. And Kiefer Bellows is absolutely playing the right wing today.
Okay. So when he's sitting right there at the left dot, what do you think that is, Grump? Okay. And now when we see Zach Parise on the right wing, what is that, Grumpy?
I'd actually like you to see when they're skating up and down, see which side of the ice he's on and which side Parise is on. That was just my question. I don't know why you're being a pain in the ass about it, honestly.
Grumpy, you keep on.
You're busting my balls about which side of the ice he's on. I'm telling you, he's not playing on the right side.
I'm just going to leave this here for the pans. If you want to go ahead and look at that, there you go. Okay.
That doesn't mean anything. That means nothing to me.
The lineup and the score sheet doesn't mean much to you. Okay, that's fine.
Like I said, I actually watch the games, so I see what positions guys are playing. I don't care what the pregame lineup card is, how they're actually, which side of the ice they're playing on is what position they're playing.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, look at that. Oh, my God. Anthony Pavilion was on the right wing for a brief moment.
Chara going for his first goal of the year. Chara driving the net.
Okay.
Is he the guy you want driving the net?
Okay, Grumpy. All I'm going to say is this. You just saw how Anthony Pavilion plays left wing, but he was temporarily on the right wing.
Just drop it.
Okay, now we're not going to talk about it anymore? Okay.
I don't want to talk about it. I mean, I just drop it.
Okay. Sounds good, Grump. My God. Martin constantly takes forever to get off the ice and change. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, when you can't skate, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Nelson with the goal. Brock, trade him, Grump? ? No way. We need his leadership and experience.
If you're not going to be a contender for a Stanley Cup within the next 2 years, and we're not, you move him. He's not going to be, when we're good again, he won't be on the team. That's just my feeling on it. He won't be on the team.
You consistently underplay the value of trying to pitch to Matt Barzal that we want to win games. I think you undervalue that. I think he wants to make money, but he also wants to win games. He wants to play a style he enjoys, which we don't. And if we don't win games, that's just extra. That's just, I don't know, makes it a barren offer, in my opinion.
He can't go anywhere for the next 2 years anyway, Matt Barzal. Can't. Next year and the year after, he's our property. If you can show him that you're doing a good rebuild and that things are going in the positive direction, he'll resign.
So you think you can full rebuild in 2 years with
I think
nobody, really quickly, with nobody in the cupboards except Atu Ratu? We could do full rebuild in 2 years.
If you're smart in free agency and able to move some of these bad contracts, it's possible. Yes, we're certainly where they're close, because if we roll the same guys out next year, the team's not going to get any better. Just not going to.
And Bella's almost snuck that one past Hellebuyck as well. I mean, we've had quite a few opportunities and chances. It's funny. You look at how different the game and the play for the Islanders has been as of recent, over the last few games. It's noticeable.
Yeah.
We still have deficiencies, don't get me wrong, but it's the effort I've seen on the ice is completely different. I'm not saying, hey, if we were playing the same way we're playing currently over the last 5 or 6 games, if we were doing that over, an 82 game stretch, hey, we'd be in the playoffs automatically, but we'd be in much better position. We would be a team that's competing still for a spot, I believe. But the effort just wasn't there earlier on, I guess. It's because we're not ultra talented. Our team has to exert unbelievable and unholy amounts of effort game in and game out. When you can't do that, you can't win without the talent.
To me, that's disturbing. This team knows what it has to do to win. They're a veteran team. I mean, they only come out to play when they're 20 something points out of a playoff spot. To me, it's like you have to really assess what you have in the room then.
They're going to use a late push in the season to justify that, hey, it was just we got off to a bad start, and that's all the issues we have. I'm telling you, that's what's going to – it's not right, but I'm telling you that's what they're going to do.
Well, like I said, just expect a repeat performance next year. I mean, like I said, we need big changes on this team if we want to be competitive. Matt Barzal's come to play today, though.
He's his first game back in quite some time. He's fresh. He's
Pulock again.
A 2-on-0. Look at that. Whoa! Holy shit. A 2-on-0. How the fuck do you let them have a blatant 2-on-0?
And the only guy hustling back is Bellows. Pulock took a shot and then falls.
Holy shit. A 2-on-0.
I don't know if it was a bad line change or what.
Pellick and Pulock.
I mean, I don't even know how it happened. Pulock takes shot and falls.
And Pellick was all the way up ice.
Oh, it's like, where was Pellick? He was like, maybe he was off the ice.
He was driving the net.
God. Yeah.
Wow. And remember we said we still have glaring deficiencies? That's one of them. My God, what terrible decision-making by the team.
That's your best defense pairing. One guy's driving the net. The other guy falls down, and Kiefer Bellows is your lone guy coming back on defense. You get a 2-on-0 break the other way. Ay. Man, that was bad. That was bad.
And just like that, with less than 3 minutes to go in the first period, we're all tied up. And I'd argue the Islanders have had quite a few chances this period, too. They should honestly be up more than they should be up. They should definitely have the lead.
He takes it and he falls.
Pellick was all the way up the ice was the issue.
Why? Are they telling him to do that? Or he's just doing it on his own?
That was the issue. He was all the way up the ice and Pulock fell. I don't know. You have a 2-on-0 break and you literally had no defenseman back. That is an issue. God almighty.
That play was terrible. I'm sorry. That was terrible. Oh, that's your number one defense pairing.
Your feed is delayed almost a minute from the Canadian feed on TSN. Well, you get to listen to us delayed then. Jim P says, don't know. Brock, I didn't know that Brock could one-time it.
Yeah, that's not normally something he does.
John Smith said, wow. Somebody on this team can actually hit a one-time. Yeah, I was about to say. I was shocked. Yeah, Brock Nelson is going to score 30 goals. I got to disagree with you on him, Grump. Says, want you to sigh.
That's fine. Like I said, he's, to me, well, I just think that Islander fans think he's better than he really is.
He's
If
like
you
he's
look
going
at
to be a 30-goal scorer this year, and he's a really solid.
okay, he's
What do you
not
think
consistent, but he's not consistent. He's not a consistent performer. He just isn't.
What do you think Islander fans think of him?
I think they like him because they just look at the 30 goals or the 25 goals he scores every year. He's been the same player, albeit better all around since Trotz got here, that he's been his whole career. He was 20-goal guy every year. It just, I think
I think that most Islander fans think he's a solid number 2 center. He's a really good number 2 center. That's about as far as you go on it. He's not a guy who's a number 1 center. He's not a first line guy. He's a really, really good number 2 center.
Okay. I'll say again, by the time the Islanders are good again, he won't be. Let me just put it to you that way. He's in his 30s now also.
Neither will Jean-Gabriel Pageau, and neither will about every single one of these players if you're subscribing.
That's my point. That's why you have to start moving them out to get younger.
And then you're going to have it's going to get calamitous then. You have to do a good job of trying to piece things together because there's no way you'll be able to convince Matt Barzal, hey, we're getting rid of the Brock Nelsons, we're getting rid of Jean-Gabriel Pageau, we're getting rid of him, we're getting rid of them. You're not going to be able to keep a team together. This team, this ownership group wants to be successful.
If Matt Barzal doesn't want to sign a contract extension next offseason for 7 or 8 years, you got to move him too. You don't let it get to how it was with Tavares.
That's good. We're moving Brock Nelson. We're moving Matt Barzal. We could be moving Jean-Gabriel Pageau. We could be moving Anders Lee. We could be moving every single player who skates on this team. Let's do full rebuild. Let's take the Arizona approach. You see what I mean by that? I'm just saying, Grump, you've got to have a good mix, no?
You're right. You do have to have a good mix. You can't have 11 or 12 guys on your team over the age 30.
Yes.
Who play regular spots. Can't have that.
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying we're looking at the players who are vets that should go. Brock Nelson's not one of the problems on this team.
He's one of the guys you can move, though, because he still has value. That's my point. And you get something for him. What are you going to get for Josh Bailey? What are you going to get for most of the guys in their 30s? Not much. Or they have the no trade clause.
What you get. Josh Bailey not being on a team is a plus in itself.
Oh, Varley. Oh, my goodness.
I don't know, Grumpy.
You just seem very combative today for some reason.
I'm not combative. You're sitting there watching TV as we're trying to put on a show. It's a show. It's an entertainment thing, Grumpy. I don't want to. People don't want to see you sit there and watch TV when you're watching commercials. That's all. You know how I feel about that stuff. Dan L said, "I'm actually watching the TSN broadcasters. They're really like the Winnipeg Jets. Always interested to hear another team's perspective."
I usually am too. I like listening to the other team's broadcasters.
And Paulo says, how about the $7 million man Anders Lee's performance last night?
First hat trick of his whole career. Varley's got to do a little better. It was deflected. My bad there. I didn't realize that puck was deflected. Nice deflection and nice reaction saved by Varlamov.
He's played. He's played well. I think this period. I mean, the goal. I seriously cannot believe we gave up a 2-on-0 opportunity. Still mind numbing.
I mean, from where Pulock shot the puck, how was he ever going to get back? Even if he didn't fall, he wasn't going to be able to get back.
I guess he was planning on it was going to be such a hard slapper that Hellebuyck would have to go ahead and cover the puck. That's the only way that you walk away with that, with a win on that situation. But again, we look offensively like we had a few chances. It's good to see Anthony Beauvillier heating back up a bit too. Again, not in the scoring department, not in the goal department, but assisting players as well. He's a guy who gets hot and cold for certain.
Yeah, that's always been his MO, right? Just not very consistent. Or consistently inconsistent.
Yep.
But when he's hot, he's hot.
And that's what he's always going to be his entire career. Christmas said, Haley's Comet, laughing out loud. Dennis Biak is good. TSN has a keeper there. I agree. The Winnipeg Jets are my favorite West Conference team. They've got a loyal fan base.
They do have a loyal fan base. They were still there from when they moved to Arizona. They were wanting them back, always.
Tom White says, Biak hails from Winnipegosis. What is that? Winnipegosis? Google Maps that one. I don't even know. What a film said, did you guys cover yesterday's game? I'll watch it to see Grumpy's reaction. No, we didn't. We were doing TJ the Grumpy Old Man show.
I mean, Columbus looked terrible last night, didn't they?
I was on the podcast with you, so I didn't get to watch the game, but the highlights.
Well, I
Chris,
I watched it like the first 2 periods, and I just don't like, man, they were terrible.
Yeah, I was prepping the podcast then. Chris Smith said here, what do you think of the Josh Bailey song? I'm confused on why he has one. Originally, it was created to make fun of him years and years and years ago, but it kind of has morphed into a way to celebrate anytime he scores a goal.
So they don't really get to sing it much. Once or twice a year.
Tom White says, as a Manitoban, I cheer for the Jets as well. The Islanders are first. The Winnipeg Jets, too. Hoping the Jets can make the postseason so I can have somebody to cheer for. I'll tell you, Tom, both of your teams are struggling mightily this season.
Yeah, I mean, Winnipeg's had defensive issues. I don't know. I think we'd be a good match as a trade partner for players with them, or at least I did previously. I have not really followed them much this year, but I know they've struggled. They kind of fallen off a little bit here at the tail end also, even though they did play well earlier in the week. But they've had some struggles. I like Winnipeg too. I love the uniforms, really do.
Dan L. said, the name almost sounds fake. Holy crap, that's far north. Above Dauphin, where Trotz is from. And that's up there. It's really up there. Okay, Winnipegosis. I didn't even know that was a real thing.
Yeah, I never heard of it either. I thought it was disease.
Okay, look at that. Oof, my God.
Well, where is it? Ooh.
It's only minus 16. It's 3 degrees Fahrenheit today.
Is it like in the Arctic Circle?
I don't know. I'm about to zoom out. It's in Manitoba. Let's go ahead and show you. Grumpy, it is far up there. My God. Oof. Yeah, my God. I'm trying to pull this up on a big scale map.
Like by Moose Jaw?
I mean, it's towards the top part of there.
Thunder Bay.
My God. Ugh.
I don't know
what I'll show you. Yeah, it's 30 miles east of him. My God, it's cold. The reporter from The Athletic is excellent. What's his name again, Grump?
For
the Islanders. The Islanders.
Kevin Kurtz.
Kevin Kurtz.
I don't know if he was talking about Winnipeg's reporter.
I think Kevin Kurtz is good. So I figured maybe he was agreeing with what I thought.
He's better than Arthur Staple. He's not afraid to ask questions.
Yep, I was about to say. I automatically unfiled Arthur Staple. I have no reason to look at any of his content ever again. I mean, at least when he was with Garth Snow, he had some sort of cachet, inside scoop. After Garth Snow left, he was kind of just a shell of what he used to be. And then it's like, yeah. Chris Smith said, who actually bets on hockey?
Not too many
Andy
people.
Kane.
It's hard to bet on hockey. I mean, over and under on goals, I guess.
Why are there so many betting commercials now, says Chris, because they pay a lot better than the normal advertising dollars would.
And, the NHL, and just like all sports leagues now, gambling sites are sponsors for them. We know that.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's
we prey on the people who have.
Good.
We prey on the people who have gambling problems.
Well, they do for certain. George P said here, when's the parade for Bailey finally scoring a goal? That's a good question. It's a good question.
Like I said, you knew that something werewolves were out last night. Whatever happened, it's Anders Lee with a hat trick and Josh Bailey scores. I think Nelson scored too, didn't he? All my favorites scored last night.
Oh yeah, I tell you, Nelson scored. Yeah, I was about to say, no, Dobson had an assist too. Dobson continues to play well, which is always nice. Also,
yes. That's why I'm excited about the rest of the year. I mean, he gets better and better every game.
Nick D said, "Remember, guys, we spring forward this weekend. Holy shit! And we have the Ducks Sunday night. Jigs was great last game. Oh my God, we spring forward this weekend.
That's correct."
Less sleep for everybody. Oh, fantastic.
Maybe go to bed a little earlier. Maybe you go to bed a little earlier.
George P. said here, hey, Josh Bailey, we want to know to which team you will go.
He's not going anywhere. I just have a feeling he's not going. And here's the thing: we win a couple of games down the stretch. It says to Lou, you know what? We're good to go for next year. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm petrified of. We're good as is.
Meatball Parm saying, good evening. What's up, Meatball? Andrew L. said, did TJ wake up on the wrong side of the bed today? No, Grumpy knows anytime we do these shows, people do not want to see us not saying anything, watching the TV screen. People put it on so they can hear something different and hear something entertaining. And when there's a whole bunch of dead air, I try to do it again. What, Grumpy? We go, we talk about it, man.
No, you came off as very nasty and combative earlier today. People see it.
Ah, yes. And it wasn't because you were giving them that resolve and the resolution, huh? Okay.
Oh my God. Again, you're doing it again.
Tony Cooper saying, I'm here, but I'm not doing it again. I'm just providing an answer in context as to why that happens, Grump. Oh my God. Tony Cooper. Look at that. Look at that. Defensive back Cooper himself.
The artist formerly known as defensive back Cooper.
He also wants to know why Josh Bailey's plus minus blows. And I agree with Grumpy Man. Pulak does look a little hurt still.
I think there's something wrong with him. And honestly, if he's hurt, why is he out there? The season is over. Does he need surgery on the foot or more surgery, or is something? He just doesn't look the same. I think you need to find that out. He wasn't playing great earlier in the year either, but he looks worse now. I think he's hurt.
Hellebuyck did win a Vezina. He won a Vezina during the COVID year.
There you go. So I was right again.
Think about this. He won the Vezina with a .299 save percentage. Should tell you all you need to know about that year.
Yeah, but he was spectacular for them in net. They were poor defensively. He was fantastic. I mean, you just dismiss him. I mean,
okay. He's got to. Okay. Have you ever looked at his career numbers? Connor Hellebuyck is not the answer for them. To win a Vezina with a .299 save percentage, again, I don't have the numbers pulled up from the year, the 2019-2020 season, but I don't know, Grump. Doesn't seem as deserving.
Well, if it's a shooting gallery because you don't have any defense and the guy's just, fantastic in net, I don't know what else you can say. I mean,
I'll let you look at it, Grump. He plays more games. He plays more games than anybody in the NHL. Therefore, he faces more shots than anybody in the NHL. And you look at the save percentage; they're not great, and the goals against average not great. Winnipeg's not a fantastic team. They leave him sometimes high to dry. I'm just saying, for him to win the Vezina 2019, 2020, I got to look up those. I got to look up the year and to see what goalies did as a whole that season.
In 2017-18, he had 44 wins. 924 save percentage, 2.36 goals against.
What my thoughts are on wins and losses for goalies.
Okay. They still count. Means when you're in net, your team wins, regardless. I mean, but the whole thing is, I think you're underselling how good Hellebuyck has been. Sorry about that. Hellebuyck has been, honestly. This year, maybe he's not been great, but he's been solid every other year. On a bad defensive team. Winnipeg's not been good this year, and they weren't good last year either.
Okay. I'm looking at some of the stats. I'm going back and looking at this. Tuukka Rask had a much better season than him that year. Darcy Kemper had a pretty decent year. Anton Khudobin. I'm just looking at the production. Okay, Tuukka Rask had a way better year than him that season.
You know what? If you want to, here's the thing. That's why you should watch the games instead of just looking at stuff like this, because you actually see who's good. I mean, look at Sorokin's numbers right this year. Are his numbers fantastic?
Yes, he's top 5 in the league in save percentage. Yes, he's fantastic number wise, and he's played great this season.
And goals against. He's not top 5
goals against. He's top 10 in the NHL. He's a top 10 goalie.
But here's the thing. I argue he's better than that. Just because we've had a bad year defensively. But he's made some tremendous saves, and that's what Hellebuyck has been for them over the years. He's still a young goalie, and you're like, well, he's not the answer. I'm like, dude, he won a Vezina trophy. I don't know. I'm kind of baffled. Tell me how great Varlamov is.
Think about this. Those are almost identical numbers to what Sorokin's numbers are this year. Do you think Sorokin should win the Vezina this season? I know there's a fantastic netminder who's out there playing great hockey and for the Rangers. But it's like, it would be like saying this season with the same numbers, if you just plop Sorokin in 2019, 2020, he would win the Vezina. I don't know. Sorry. Wins and losses don't mean anything to me for goalies. I don't care about those. I completely neglect that as a statistic that goalies should be weighed in on. It's like starting pitchers should not have their wins and losses looked at and scrutinized. I could care less whether the starting pitching wins, because he could pitch 8 innings and give up 1 run and lose 1-0. Is that the starting pitcher's fault? No. Is it the fault of the goalie when the team does not score and support him? No. In my opinion, it's not.
Okay, that's fine.
I'd
like to know when I put a goalie in more times than not, we're going to win the game. I do like that. Grant Fuhr didn't have the greatest numbers in the world, but you want to know what? In big situations, he came up with the save. I always say that. He's in the Hall of Fame. You look at his numbers, they ain't that great. But in the big games, at the big moments, he came up with the big saves. That's what big-time goalies do.
Goaltending was way different then, though, too. It's like you can't compare goalies of old to goalies of new.
Okay. Again, big-time goalies in big situations come up big. Sorokin in big situations comes up big. Shesterkin. Name all the really good goalies. As much as I love Roberto Luongo, and his numbers were good, in big situations, he'd give up that goal in the last minute a lot. You don't see that from guys like Sorokin for Hellebuyck. You don't see it. Certain goalies do, certain ones don't. That's separate. Billy Smith, in the big moments, he was really, really good.
I just love how you just took a little bit of a jab at Roberto Luongo.
I like Roberto Luongo, but in the big moments, kind of choked a little bit sometimes. Even when he won the gold medal in the Olympics the year that he was in net, he gave up a goal in the last minute and the game wound up going to overtime.
Yeah, they had the goalie pulled. They had a 6-on-5 opportunity,
but he gave up the goal in the last minute.
Oh, Jesus.
What I'm saying is, big time goalies. Ken Dryden always came up with the big save at the big moment.
I think you're buying too much into the Vancouver media. The Vancouver media always used to say that about him. It just flat out wasn't true. I don't believe it. I don't believe that.
I do. I believe that. Firmly believe it.
Nick D said, I really don't get Barry. He's not making the playoffs, and he doesn't want to play Wahlstrom. What's the point of this? Barry's a POS for doing that. He's got to go.
He's not going anywhere. I 100% agree with you, Nick. It makes no sense to me why the young guys aren't all playing now. None. I don't care about I'm on record. I don't give a crap about anybody who's over 30. You're not part of the answer. Not one guy. I could move any of those guys and get decent return, I would. Why do I say Brock Nelson? Same reason I say Scott Mayfield. They're going to get you the most for the most return that you're possibly going to get for the players on this team that you're willing to move. Anthony Beauvillier is not going to get that for you. But Nelson's a good, solid two-way player. So guess what? You can get a lot for him for a playoff team. Same thing with Scott Mayfield.
Rich A says here, the Jets have more hits has more hits than misses regarding their draft picks.
Yeah, they've been pretty good drafting. I mean, everybody misses, but they seem to hit more often than not, particularly with wingers. They're really good at that. Really good at that. Certain teams draft certain positions well.
I didn't know
New York Yankees always had catchers. They could always draft catchers, never starting pitchers. The Mets always draft starting pitchers, always.
Oh, Grumpy, Kyle Connor was a first-round pick, not a third-round guy or a second-round guy.
I thought he was a second-round pick. No,
he was he was 17th.
Okay,
that's right. He was a middle-of-the-table type of guy, but he's been fantastic for them. He was right after Matt Barzal. My God, if you look at that 2015 NHL draft, there's always certain draft classes where certain players just are unbelievable talents. That 2015 draft class has a lot of fantastic players in it.
Think about the Boston Bruins were 2 years removed or 3 years removed. What year was that draft?
That was 2015.
2015. They were 4 years removed from a Stanley Cup, and they had 3 picks in the first round, and every one of them busted out. Every single guy busted out.
You look at the 3 picks right after the Boston Bruins too, right? They skipped Matt Barzal, they skipped Kyle Connor, and they skipped Thomas Chabot.
Yep.
Wow. That's all I gotta say. Wow.
Look at the positions they drafted, right? Defenseman, left wing, right wing. The next pitch, center, left wing, defense. I mean, even Joel Eriksson Ek has been pretty good.
First liner, top pairing defenseman. The 3 picks. Yeah. So, I mean, that's one I feel like Boston fans have got to kick themselves on. We talk about, hey, how the 3 amigos. Could you imagine if we had that situation and skipped on every single one of those players? Nice.
You'd be hearing it from us. Or me, anyway.
The people still singing the Josh Bailey song, those fans, I cannot stand.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I'm not a Josh Bailey fan. If I can move I think they're showing the replay here of what's going on. It's like, okay, who's coming off? How many guys they even have on the ice? Yeah, Pellick joining the rush. What the hell is he doing? They only had four guys. Oh my God.
Shit.
It just looks worse every time.
Hold on. And what's good is they didn't have just one man on the odd man break. They had a guy who changed who was cherry picking up there too. So want to be in a 2-on-0. We
only had 4 guys out there, it seemed like. I mean, you know what? I'm going to give Kiefer Bellows credit. At least he busted his ass coming back.
They're zooming in on him. I wonder what they're saying. I need to turn the closed caption on. Kiefer Bellows has to do better. He's got to know that he's the last guy back there on defense.
Don't worry, you're not playing again tonight. You don't have to worry about getting exposed like that on TV again. You won't be playing.
Oh my God, I tell you.
I mean, why is Andy Green playing? We have young guys. We need to see what they can do. It's just frustrating. I mean, when the season's over, you should be looking. I think
they're gonna start employing that in a week and a half time. Once the trade deadlines happens, again, I'm optimistic. We're trading bare minimum 3, probably 4 or 5 guys off of this roster.
Oh, you're dreaming. Again, we're not trading 5 guys off of this team.
I said bare minimum 3, maybe 4 or 5.
Maybe. I hope so.
I'm just saying, I think we're going to see turnover. I think we're going to see spots kind of open up. And that's when we're going to see guys like Bellows and Wallstrom out there every single night.
Yeah, it bothers me that the veterans have played like absolute dog shit the whole year. And now that the season's totally over, they're starting to pick it up a little bit.
Holy shit. What a crap. Whoa, are you shitting me? What a shitty shot by Josh Bailey.
He scores,
he follows back up. No, I'm talking about the first one. Look at how weak this shot is. Holy shit. Josh Bailey on a hot streak. 2 goals in back-to-back games, Grumpy. Whoa.
He went to the net, too.
Watch this first shot. This first shot, I think, clocked in at 115 miles an hour. Whoop.
Actually, it was off of Parise. It wasn't even on target. He maybe was trying to make a pass.
He did hit off the Winnipeg defenseman, and Hellebuyck is so far out of position, he just gets an easy tap-in goal. Look at that.
Nah, give him credit though. He went to the net. That's something he doesn't do. He went to the net. Again, the pieces of shit on this team seem to start producing when the season doesn't mean anything. I hate players like that, man.
Well, hopefully this is great. Josh Bailey is rounding out into form, a playoff caliber team. You've got a special guy in Josh Bailey. I'm telling you, get the Islanders PR guy, get the Islanders hype man over there, fluff up the trade value of Josh Bailey. He's the hottest player in all of hockey. Oh, my God. It does bother me, though. Grumpy, you're not the only person who has that sentiment to where I think –
oh, my God. Nice pass by Beauvillier. What a save. And a goal. And Anders Lee scores.
The garbage man scores another. I'll tell you, people are going to be like, Anders Lee is so fantastic. Dude, he's staying in front
of Lee and Bailey score today. The trio of my hated trio have
Anders
all
Lee's
scored
20th.
today.
Anders Lee's 20th goal. Now look at this, Grumpy. You look a lot happier now that all your favorite players are scoring.
Well, I'm happy they're scoring.
Oh my God, dude. He's got to do better on rebound control. I'm sorry. Hellebuyck is not the answer. He's got to rebound control that shit. My God.
There's a guy standing right there. He does nothing about it. Schmidt,
I'm not saying the defense is good, but again, defense has been hideous.
No, that's not on the goalie. That puck was a foot from him. He was stretched out to make the save. That's not on the goalie. How about have a defenseman there to clean that up a little bit?
I think they need the defense, and I think they also need. He's got to do better
They're
job
not good
on that.
defensively. That's been their issue.
He was overextended out of position on the first Bailey goal. My God, 2 goals in 40 seconds for the Islanders. Jesus, people are going to say Anders Lee now has 4 goals in the last 2 games. Grumpy, is he average now? All of his goals come almost in the crease where goalie's on his ass. He's just gone ahead and smacking at it. It's like your non-talented friend in beer league hockey. Holy shit, Hellebuyck.
Their defense is hideous. That's why he won. That's when he won the Vezina a couple of years ago. Their defense is horrible. It's always been horrible.
I don't know.
That's the problem. That is the problem with Winnipeg and has been for years. They give up a lot of goals.
I said at the top, I said defense is not great, but the goaltending hasn't been there either this year.
Beating the pressure. Oh my God. There is no pressure. That's why he's scoring.
In his last 3 games, he's got 6 goals, Grumpy. Okay.
And everyone, you know what? At the end of the year, you're going to hear all the glad-hander, the bootlick and weasel sites, all the media cartel is all going to say, well, look, Anders Lee had a great year. No, he's been terrible all year. Just because you score goals when the season is over means absolutely nothing.
Jesus Christ. I'll tell you, that shit's pissing me off. That's just nonsense.
And maybe it's easier for him to score when he's playing on, not the first line. I don't know.
God almighty. I'm just still shocked about that.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm going to give, even though Palmieri hasn't scored a whole lot this year, or Parise, I like their play way better than Nelson, Bailey, and Lee this year.
Why do you throw Nelson's name in there? I don't mind you throwing Lee and Bailey. Why is Nelson thrown in there?
Because Nelson scores goals against crap teams. He's really good at that. Or when games are over. He's one of those guys who does that a lot too. I'm not saying he's never scored a big goal, but most times he scores goals against shitty teams, or in the game is 6-1, 7-2. He'll score a couple of goals. He's always been like that.
Want to hear a crazy stat from tonight's game? 3 goals scored. The Islanders they're only credited their entire team for 2 assists. 3 goals scored. You could have a maximum of 6 assists. We only have 2 assists on 3 goals scored. Think about that.
Yeah, well, that tells you that the team's turning the puck over down low, right?
God, I tell you, nuts. Freaking nuts, Grumpy. Goaltenders can be very streaky. Good one year, average the next.
True.
And then Hellebuyck was a damn good goalie a few years ago. He's having a down year this year. Goalies can be streaky from year to year. The Islanders, for Islanders games, the bet should be, was that? I don't know.
Willie. I don't know.
Will your liver survive? Okay.
Oh.
Thank you for translating that for me. Okay.
He's led the NHL in saves the last 3-4 years.
He's played the most games in the NHL the last 3 years, though, too. Okay. So if you're playing the most games, ideally, if you're a half decent goalie, you should have the most saves because you're out there the most times.
They give up a lot of shots. That's what it tells me. They give up a lot of shots.
He plays the most games. You notice how they did that very deceptively? Very good. Look at how many saves he's had the last few years. They don't include that he's played the most games in the NHL the last 3 seasons in a row.
Their defense is terrible. They're
not great. They're not great. Absolutely, they're not great.
Look at this. My God. Oh.
They're letting Anthony Philly just walk through them.
Oh, they're bad defensively. You can really see it in that camera angle. That's a good camera angle, honestly. I like it.
Too.
In the offensive zone, I love that camera angle. You can see, you really learn a lot on positional play and who can actually play defense and who can't.
Brian P. says, betting unders is profitable. I bet a lot of overs in Florida, Colorado, and Minnesota games and the unders in Islander games.
That's for certain.
Both have profit.
That's for certain. Those are smart bets.
Well, hold on. Never mind. I guess they're giving him additional assists. The assists had not been assigned yet. That's why we didn't have that. So, correction. I guess there are 6 assists. I looked at the stats at the time period. I'm like, damn, nobody else is getting credit for those assists, but we're going to have 6 assists on those 3 goals. So, I guess strike from the record what I said before. Chris Smith saying here, if they get 2 first round for Nelson,
Matt Barzell has really come to play today. Or maybe we just haven't seen him enough. Could have been a little interference. That Kiefer Bell is not afraid to shoot the puck, though.
Shoots from any angle, and he's aggressive. Gotta love it. Look at that. Scott Mayfield getting in a few shot attempts.
Bellows again.
Winning the puck in the area. Again, they were able to dispossess him, but we still keep the pressure on.
It's your boy Chara back again.
Oh, Chara. Look at
Chara. Looks like a whirly dervish out there, too.
Chara had a whole bunch of momentum coming his way. My gosh. Look at that. Look at that opportunity. My gosh. What's up, Drew L? Hi, TJ Grump. What is up, Drew? And yeah, that was a lockdown defense that Barry was known for. The 2-on-0 goal.
Yeah, that was bad. But, I mean, we've looked good the rest of the game. I mean, I think we've outplayed them for certain.
I think so, too. Brian P. saying the bad line change. Yeah, oof.
Casey Zizekis. Oof. Did his best Brock Nelson impersonation. Try to do a little fancy Dan move and then turn it over.
I'm just thinking more and more about what you said earlier. It does bother the shit out of me that this team's veterans had played like such garbage all season long. And now when they're almost mathematically eliminated from any type of playoff contention, they start picking it up to make people believe that they still have the ability to play.
So they keep their jobs. So they keep their jobs because they like it here.
You know what? Do you know what that is? We're going to have to battle all off season long. People will say, well, during the second half of the season when XYZ didn't happen, they played much better. And they finished the year with 70 points or 60 points. They're still talented, Grumpy and TJ. You just don't see it.
Yeah. No.
That's what we're going to have to fight. That's what we're going to have to fight.
Grumpy. Yeah, I know it. Believe me, I know. That's what we're going to have to hear. But that doesn't make it true. Look at Bailey hustling his ass off. The guy hasn't hustled all freaking year. Not all year. He's been invisible. And here's the thing. If he played like that on the third line, I'd have no problem with Josh Bailey. But that's the frustration with him. He'll do it. It seems like when he needs a job or. Ooh,
oh my God! Dude, Grumpy. Have you ever noticed that Hellebuyck could not control a rebound to save his freaking life?
It's a nice save. Varlamov kicks him 20 foot out in front of the net.
Varlamov doesn't control rebounds well. Okay, yeah. What? You said Varlamov has had a bad season this year.
I honestly don't understand your irrational hate for Hellebuyck. I don't
hate him. He's just not the answer. Is he a top 10 netminder in the NHL? Hell no.
If you put him on a good team, he would be. They're a terrible team. They're terrible defensively.
I don't know, Grump. So you think if he's in Washington, he's one of the best goalies in the NHL?
I think he's better than he is here.
Better, but best top 10 goalie in the NHL? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I would.
Good goalies find a way to shine through on shit situations. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know. He's got more saves than anybody in the league every year. I guess he's doing something right.
He plays more games than any goalie in the league, Grumpy. Nick D says, Bellows was the first one back on that goal against, too. Absolutely.
He busted it. There was no way it was catchable. At least he didn't ease it on down there. He went for it.
Drew L says, Deshaun Watson is going to Pittsburgh, Grump, although not confirmed yet.
I told you that was happening. No indictments in Texas. That's good news for him. I just wonder if the NFL, you know what? Would I put it past them to give him another suspension, even though he's never been suspended? I could see them doing that. But if I'm Pittsburgh, that's a no-brainer trading for him.
For certain. Maybe it was like an unofficial suspension that he served.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, if you here's the thing, what we've always said, if you stay on the sidelines long enough and stay clean and don't do anything irrational or dumb, you could go ahead and everything gets brushed under the rug if you're good enough talent. Just so
I was so conflicted with him because everything that I know about him is he's not a bad guy. That's why I'm like, gosh, Deshaun Watson and all those people just didn't make sense. But then, okay, well, maybe he's a closet masseuse molester or whatever. But the grand jury cleared him of everything. So, not enough evidence to convict, I guess. So it never's going to trial. That's, good news for him because he's never said the wrong thing. He's not a guy that you've heard, getting in trouble in college
Go ahead.
Getting in trouble in college or high school or anything like that. Always been a model citizen. That's why it was just baffling to me, these allegations against him.
I will be interested to hear when he starts speaking to the media again this year, how he responds. Is he going to be on a warpath where he says, I was falsely accused, this happened, that happened, or what will he do? I'll be interested to see when he starts making public comments again and how he handles the situation getting back into the sphere. I will be interested.
He's been saying since the beginning, he says he didn't want to settle because he says, I absolutely didn't do any of this. The only reason he settled is on some of these cases, the majority was because they said that it would get him back in the league quicker. He'd have never expected himself not to play last year. That was something he never considered. That's why he started doing, that's why he started pleading some of these cases out, paying the people off, like nuisance lawsuits.
Christmas saying, yeah, Pelech shouldn't be driving to the net. Essentially, what Pulock was shooting, yeah. And the garbage man has 25 or has 19 goals now. He'll finish with over 25, I think. The garbage.
And everyone will say how great he is. Really? Have you watched him all year? Because he's not been good.
What I see
shitty teams, you can have guys who have to score goals.
If you're a garbage man, the way Anders, and I say it in the most endearing way possible, if you're a garbage man, if you're scoring 45 or 50 goals a season, you're good. You're good. Sorry, there's no way around it. If you're a garbage man, he puts in 25 goals. He averages, I don't know, about a point every other game. That's just the production that you're having out of a guy who's on the first line, just quite simply, is not enough, is what it is. Grumpy, welcome back, my friend. Grumpy, can you hear us?
Hello?
Can you hear us, Grumpy?
Yeah, you were garbled again, so I'm like, okay, I'll just go out and come back in.
Thank you. Tony Cooper saying it. TJ must still be sick. Hope you feel better soon, man. Thank you there, DB Cooper.
Yeah, he said that because you've been nasty today.
Bullshit, Grumpy. Dan L says here, Grump, I'm with you about Brock. And, I'm not saying we should definitely keep him. But I also don't want a team of garbage and have inexperienced wingers and inexperienced centers. I don't want to go back to the late 2000s, early 2010s.
Yeah, Dan, I guess I look at it this way. Who on this team has any value that you can move to expedite a retool or whatever? There's only a few guys. Nelson's one of them, and so is Mayfield. In a perfect world, yes, you want to keep them, but it's pretty obvious that we're not competing for a Stanley Cup anytime soon. So whatever you can do to expedite
the only one. Mayfield's the only one because he's got the contract. That's the only reason I could say yes to Mayfield. Brock Nelson's still under contract for quite some time.
What? I think he's got 3 years left, right? But he's going to be in his 30s. He's in his 30s now. If you could get,
how has he played?
He's been okay. A lot of people think he's good. I don't. But a lot of people do. A lot of people think he's really good.
He's good. He's got 3 years left on his contract after this year.
Yeah. So, 3 years left. He's certainly a guy you could move. Without a doubt.
Why would you want to move a guy who's playing on a career year this year and who's played well and is a really solid number 2 center? Why would you want to do that?
Because your team needs to refresh itself.
You have pieces you can trade to pick up.
Like what? Like what that's worth anything?
Ooh. Winnipeg looks like they're making a late push here. About 9 minutes remaining in the second period. They're making a push. The Islanders group, I feel like, has been hemmed in their own zone for quite some bit.
Yeah, Green and Mayfield out there for over a minute and a half each. And they will be able to change up now.
You're asking who we can trade? You got okay, here's the thing. You're going to be sitting at a lottery selection this year. you're going to be. You could go ahead and move off. Bailey could get you a 3rd round pick again. Zach is going to get you at least a 2nd, maybe more. You've got guys like Cal Clutterbuck who can get you a 2nd or a 3rd.
Oh my God, you just overvalue our guys.
Look at what, oh my God. What did you think right there when Hellebuyck almost just gave up another goal because he couldn't handle the puck? I'm sorry. I've never understood the infatuation with the guy. I thought the year he won the Vezina was, well, that's all I'm going to say. Well, just, I'm sorry.
Puck rolled on him.
Puck
and
rolled.
He got back to make the save.
Okay.
And there's this guy trying to throw it, Connor trying to throw it in the net.
Kyle Connor doesn't only like scoring on opposing teams. He likes scoring on his own team, too.
He sees a net, he's going to put it in there.
Guys, I hear Anson Carter do the Josh Bailey chant during intermission versus the Blue Jackets. I didn't hear it, but I heard it, and I couldn't help but laugh.
Good for him.
Oh, man, oh, man. Andrew L. said, what's wrong with Grumpy watching the TV as he has to see what's going on? It's hard to do that as it is to watch this product. Yeah, he's got to be able. We're in a situation where we've got to be able to watch and talk at the same time, Andrew. Dan L says here, Pulak does not seem right since he came back. Hopefully, it's just a matter of him not in the swing of things yet. And this is not an injury or a long time decline.
I cannot feel that it's a decline. I have to think it's an injury. True, his play has diminished from 2 years ago when I thought he and Pelech were spectacular.
He was fantastic in the playoffs last year, in the postseason last year. He was great.
I'm talking about the whole year, not certain segments of the season. And I thought and I didn't think Pelech was great during the regular season. He was really good in the playoffs. I thought 2 years ago, that's when they were their best from start to finish. That said, Pelech has gotten better, and he's played really well during the second half of the season, but Pulak has not. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm just wondering if he's still hurt. That's my concern. He's hurt. I can't think it's a decline at this point in time.
Yeah, he's too young. He's still, what is he, still 28? Oh, my God. Ooh, Andy Green went hard into the boards. Things are getting physical out there. Christopher C. said here, hey, guys. Hey, Grumpy. What do you think about our captain's hat trick? He may be old, but no one's too old for a hat trick. Admit it. Wanted to see that hat trick.
I'm glad he got the hat trick. Honestly, I thought he was never going to score one his whole career. I was really thinking. I've been thinking about that a lot recently. Isn't that funny? That he scores one when I've been thinking about, man, he's never going to get one. And
we talked about it on the podcast recently, too. I think the podcast right before he scored.
I've been thinking about it, though. I've been thinking about it for a while. So good for him. I mean, I certainly wish him success while he's playing for us. That's for certain. I'm glad he got the hat trick.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Once you decide, said, I agree. Columbus looked awful last night.
They were terrible.
Nick D said, what about Fling Flong Manitoba?
I thought it was Flin Flon. Not Fling Flong. Flin Flon.
I don't know. It's spelled
Fling. Oh, my
Flong.
God.
My God, Varley. Jesus
How was that?
Is he trying to give up a goal, too? Holy shit.
Thank goodness Pelech was laying in the net. Varlamov was so out of position. I don't know how they missed.
It's fantastic. Oh, nice move by Cal Clutterbuck. I like that little offensive flair. Oh, man. Grump, better go back to school and take Canadian geography.
I have to admit, I know very little about Canadian geography. I have to admit that.
A weird goal by Winnipeg. It's like it was a huge brain fart. Absolutely. I'm totally agreed. He's looked bad. I can't remember who's that. Oh, talking about Ryan Pulak. And didn't we already play the Ducks?
Yeah, but I think it was a road game. I don't think we played them a home game. I think we lost to them too. Didn't we? Oh no.
You thought we won 4-0, right?
That's right. That was the 4-0 game. Oh. And
Dobson loses an edge. I tell you, the ice surface in UBS Arena is just shit. My God. Oof. That was honestly that was one of those where Varlamov looks like he's afraid of getting hit in the head.
Yes. Why is he ducking? He has a
He's
mask on.
ducking and throwing his arms up like that. I'm like, come on, man. It's funny. The Swedes always throw their head to try to make the save.
I mean, it's, naturally see something coming at your head, you're ducking, but still, maybe you should train. Remember in the Mighty Ducks movies? Oh, here's that replay. Let's see.
Oh, saved with the stick. Hold on. Did Varlamov save with the stick?
Pellick made the save.
Oh, wow. Oh, no, hit off the post.
Oh, I thought it had Pellick's stick. And then, yeah, because Varlamov was beaten. I'm like, how the hell did he miss that?
Oh, my God. That's sad. That is sad, sad stuff.
Yeah, the Ducks was the 4-0 game. That's right. We killed them.
Oh, man.
Well, we better start cleaning up now because come the tail end of the season, man, we got a tough schedule.
Brian P saying 44, 11, and 9, 2.36 goals against average in a 2.96. Yeah, that's not true. The year he won was 2018-19. He had the 9.22. Let me pull it back up. The year he won was in 2019-2020, 9.22 save percentage, 2.57 goals against average. It's the year he won the Vezina. I don't know. TJ, you're so wrong about Hellebuyck. I don't know, man. Plays more games than anybody else. I mean, when you've seen him tonight, what did you think about Connor Hellebuyck?
I think the team in front of him is deplorable. That's what I thought. That's what I think.
The defense isn't good, but I mean,
okay, it's the same thing when Sorokin feels like he's got to do everything out there,
and Sorokin still posts better numbers. Again, our defense is better.
That's right. Because our defense is better than his,
and our system is more tailor made for that. But again, I'm just saying, the year he won the Vezina, 31 wins, 21 losses in regulation, 5 overtime losses, a 9.22 save percentage, and a 2.57 goals against average. Sorry, doesn't cut it for me. That's not Vezina caliber. I like, we look at, like, okay, seriously, you look at, like, when last year, when I say, okay, Victor Hedman doesn't win the Norris, you go, what? Adam Fox played well, but Victor Hedman's by far the best defenseman in the league. And you look at who wins the Vezina, and you go, okay, Marc-Andre Fleury wins the Vezina. Vasilevsky had a fantastic year. It doesn't make sense.
I don't understand your logic.
Sometimes I think those awards are given to people who were on the first. Ooh, look at that. Sometimes I think it's given to people who are the new name, the fancy name, and it's not necessarily given to the best performer because, this person's won one before. We expect that out of him, but this guy's come out of nowhere and played well, even though he may have tailed off at the end of the year and he struggled at certain points. He's the new name, so they give it to him because they weren't expecting it from him. I think that sometimes happens in sports, and I think it's always wrong anytime it happens.
Okay. I don't know. I just think you're awful harsh on him. That's all.
Do you think he's a top 10 goalie in the NHL?
Yes, I do. Yes, on a good team, he'd be really good. He plays on a shitty defensive team. It makes a difference. You put a guy back there, and you got 2-on-1s or 2-on-0s coming at you all the time. Guess what? Your save percentages are going to be great anyway, right? Here's the thing. If I'm starting a team and I don't have Sorokin, I'd take him in a nanosecond.
I don't know. I take Sorokin over him. You're right. I would take Sorokin. You said you take Sorokin over him in a nanosecond, correct?
Yes, but if I didn't have Sorokin, I take him in a nanosecond if he was available. He's a good goalie. You don't like him. That's fine. To each his own.
Okay, you're saying if you had a chance for Jeremy Swayman, you'd be like, let me go ahead and take Connor Hellebuyck. If you had a chance for Shesterkin,
Jeremy Swayman has played, 50 games in his career?
Jeremy Swayman's a better goalie than Connor Hellebuyck.
Boston plays a solid defensive style, too. Jeremy Swayman's played 50 games in his career.
Jeremy Swayman's a legit. You could tell he's a legit netminder. I don't know, Grumpy. When I look at Jeremy Swayman, I could say, yeah, the guy can play. The guy is fantastic. I don't know what else to say about it.
He's played 50 games in his career. Okay. That's the way you think. That's fine.
Not even 50. It's only 37 games in his NHL career.
37, not even 50. Okay. And you're anointing him as a Hall of Famer practically.
No. I'm just saying, if we're starting out teams, if I'm saying, hey, we're starting out a team, who would you pick as a goalie? Connor Hellebuyck's not as high on my list as he is on yours. That's fine, though.
Okay.
That's fine.
I bet you that
I'd pick Spencer Knight over Connor Hellebuyck, to be honest with you, too.
there's a reason why you're not. I think Spencer Knight was terrible this year. He had to be sent down to the minor leagues because he wasn't performing well. That's what happens
correct.
with young goalies.
Oh, hold on. Spencer Knight is 21 years old. Connor Hellebuyck is 28 years old. Big difference. One's a vet. One's practically wet behind the ears.
One's won a Vezina trophy, and the other ones haven't even played 50 games in their careers.
Do you think
those are the guys you want?
You think Spencer Knight might win a Vezina before all is said and done?
No idea. I have no idea if he will or not. None.
I think it's possible.
He's played what, 25 games in his career, and you're already saying that he's probably going to win a Vezina trophy. Oh, please!
Holy shit!
You have no idea.
If that's not conflating, I don't know what is. I said it's
one
possible.
Coming back the other way.
Possible, Grump.
Varlamov had no idea what that puck is, but neither did Ehlers. So
you've said so too. That Florida's biggest issue is they don't have the defense.
That's right.
Okay. So why is it impossible to believe that a 20-year-old might struggle when the team doesn't play any defense in front of him?
Thought he was 21. Now he's 20. What's he going to be, 15 20. Next? And you're going to say he's a Vezina trophy winner? He's 15?
Yeah, he actually won 10 Vezinas already, Grumpy. Does that make you happy? He's a good goalie. I take Spencer Knight for Hellebuyck if I'm building a team.
How did Ehlers miss the net from there? Oh.
Couldn't tell you. Wolf is right. Billy Smith doesn't have to be the best regular season numbers, but stepped up in a big game when it mattered in the playoffs.
True.
Jeremy Ford saying, good evening, fellas, and happy Friday night. Hope you guys have a great show and weekend. Absolutely, Jeremy. Hope you got a great weekend as well ahead of you. Paulo C said, Grant Fuhrer also had the best offense in the league. For certain he did.
Absolutely.
Ooh, is that going to be holding by Chara?
Nope, no call.
Hey, he gets away with it. I'll take it. Winnipeg's really putting a lot of pressure on the Islanders these last few minutes. I mean, they've got it.
Most of the shots are from, except for the one where the guy just didn't put the puck in there. I think that was Ehlers too, honestly. They've not been primetime scoring chances, though.
I'm just saying they're trying to put forth an effort. They need to score, right? If you're Winnipeg, you have got to score here within the last 3 minutes of the period. You've got to go in the third period down by 1. Can't go down by 2. I think the Islanders go ahead and you what, Crum?
I don't care. I'm glad they're down by 2. I hope they don't score a goal before the end of the period.
I'm just saying I think that's why they're putting such a concerted effort.
Oh,
and they've
look
looked
at that.
Much more engaged.
That Clutterbuck's a magician out there with the puck.
Did you like how Casey Zizekas did a spinorama and he was held?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to the power play for that. We're going to the power play for that.
That's right. I was going to say he was interfered with.
Okay. Chara held the guy down low who had a chance to go ahead and get a shot off on that. He literally just went ahead and he grabs his stick like that, and we got away with it. He definitely held him. Blake Wheeler held Casey Zizekas, but I don't mind.
Well, here's the thing. Honestly,
that's a hold.
I'm not calling that. Again, that's one of those penalties.
They haven't called anything all night, but I'm just saying it's a hold. But technically speaking, right, you haven't called anything all night. You've been letting them do what they want on the ice. Chara got away with the hold, the same exact and similar situation right in front of Varlamov when the puck was there.
Let me tell you something. They can't wait to put up the graphic. Anders Lee, 6 power play goals this year. Brock Nelson, 5 power play goals. They're the answer to this team's woes. No, it's the exact opposite. They're the reason that we suck.
They're all here long-term, Grumpy. That's why there are answers, don't you know?
God, I hated that offseason so much. Nice move, Croc.
Jeremy says the more I see games like last night and tonight, and the less number of players I feel will be moved.
That's what I feel too. That's exactly what I feel.
What position do you think the Islanders draft well? Ooh. I think we do a pretty decent job drafting defensemen.
Defensemen, yeah, I go with defensemen.
I wouldn't say forwards. I'd say defensemen. I think we do a really good job.
Well, because they don't look for guys who can score.
We've drafted guys early. I mean, like if we're going, even Garth Snow days. I mean, like even when we take the clock back that far, I'd say, we didn't draft forwards well. We've drafted defensemen well. What, for the last last 2 decades, I'd say?
We're picking the top 5 every year. It's easy to draft well when you're picking the top 5.
How many defensemen did we pick in the top 5? 1? Griffin Reinhardt. Everybody else was a forward. I'm saying I'm looking at the guys we identified late in drafts, like Devon Taves was a second round. What was it? Second or third round pick. Scott Mayfield was a second or third round pick. Adam Pellick was a third round pick. We've done a really good job, I think, of finding and identifying defensive talent. Yeah,
I
sure, it
think
helps
we're
when
good
you
at
make early picks. I say defense, though, I think is by far the best position
that.
we draft.
I agree.
Nobody in the 2015 NHL draft in the first round has played more playoff games than Matt Barzal and Anthony Beauvillier.
Josh freaking Bailey's on the power play. Unbelievable.
Woo! Bailey back out there once again.
Unbelievable.
Baby.
You got a guy who's a big shooter. Don't put him out there. Put that useless bastard Josh Bailey out there. Ugh.
Brian P says here 2015 and 2003 were the best draft classes.
2003 was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Owen J says Kyle Palmieri, the next goal. Well,
1997 was pretty good too.
What was the worst draft class year when the Sedins were? Was it 99?
I think it was 99. I think we had four picks in the first round.
Top 10 or in the first round? Okay.
Yeah. Three in the top 10 and then one at the end.
Yikes. Yeah. Bad time to have all those early picks. That's for certain. Jeremy F saying here, Boston missing out on Barzal, Connor, and Shabbat. Feels to me like the Islanders missing out on Tomasino, Kaliev, and McMichael. I hope it's not that bad.
The three amigos.
They had 3 picks, so it makes it even worse.
True. They didn't get any of them, and they won't right after. Ugh.
Oh my God, and Bailey scored again. Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you. Josh freaking Bailey. Bailey just scored again. Oh my God, Bailey. Barry creamed his pants because Bailey scores. My gosh. Tony Cooper. Look at that, Grumpy. Tony Cooper on Revis Island over here says Bailey to the first line and send Wallstrom to the moon. He says send Wallstrom away, Grumpy.
Yeah, I wonder when Wallstrom will be back.
I feel like after there's going to be, I'm still optimistic there's going to be a lot of movement at the deadline. At least 3 moves, maybe 4 or 5.
I think the more we win, the less chance.
That's a good redirection by Wheeler.
Yeah. The more we win, the less chance of guys getting moved.
Yes, I agree with that.
They're just going to think, you know what? Oh, yeah, this team's ready to go. I know we didn't play well for the first 50 games of the year, but you know what, man, we really came on at the end. If we would have had a little bit of puck luck, we would have won a Stanley Cup this year. Islander fans.
Oh, man. Jeremy F saying here, sell high. Bailey's hot. Pick up the phone, Lou. Mm-mm.
But see, just to get back to what you said, who we can get, guys. All right, you're talking about, okay, maybe we get a 3rd round pick for this guy, a 2nd round pick for him. I mean, is that enough to help your team where it's at?
If you get, let's say this year you go on a draft, you have yourself a pick within the top 10. And again, I think that may be a stretch now. Let's assume you're picking at 13. And then you go ahead and have yourself 2 seconds and 2 third-round picks. I'm not saying that immediately says, hey, we're flush with young talent again, but it helps a step in the right direction, I think. Wouldn't you agree? Rumpy? Oh, he must be having a lot of internet issues, or maybe I'm having the issues. I don't know. You guys let me know. Dan L said, your 2 favorites with the goals today, Grumpy. Oh, yeah, lucky Grumpy. Dirk C saying, good morning. What's up, Dirk? How are you doing? And Josh Bailey is our new sniper. I certainly hope not. Oh, wow, Grumpy, I'll let him load in first. Grump, you might have some internet issues today over there.
I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what it is.
I was asking, I said before I think you got disconnected. Would you not agree? I don't think it completely restocks the cupboards, but if you have, let's say, and I think this is a really realistic expectation, right? You maybe are going to be able to squeak in the top 10 pick. Let's assume you're sitting at 13th with your draft selection.
We're going to be picking the top 10. I think we're going to be picking the top 10.
Let's assume we play like what we're playing now. We continue to play well the rest of the year, and we screw up our draft position slot. That's possible too, being the Islanders. And let's assume you've got 2 seconds and 2 third-round picks. I'm not saying completely revamps the prospect pool, but it certainly is a step in the right direction, I think.
Okay. You have to move again. Some of the guys who have long-term deals on this team, they have to be moved. If they're not moved out, that means they're playing because they feel long-term.
What guys with long-term deals can be moved?
I mean, you have to try everything you can to move guys.
What guys can be moved that have long-term deals?
Palmieri. I mean, here's the thing.
He's got a full no trade.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. When you give everyone a no trade, a no trade clause in your contract, it's just dumb. I mean,
I don't disagree with you on that. I think you're right. But
I mean,
what long-term players? What players on long? I consider a long-term contract 3 or more years. What players on long-term contracts can be moved?
Brock Nelson can be moved.
Brock Nelson's a guy who actually produces for you. You can't move him, but
that wasn't your question. Who could be moved of the guys who are long-term contracts? That was your question.
Okay.
Scott Mayfield could be moved.
That's a 1-year contract, not a long-term contract. But
okay, but you can still
long-term deals. We're looking at guys because you've always said guys with
Anthony Beauvillier could be moved.
You want to move Anthony Beauvillier?
You have to, if you want to get the team better offensively, you got to move somebody out. You have to move some of those guys out.
You can move out a guy like Josh Bailey. He's not on a very long-term contract. He's got 2 years left. I could start to see the freaking light at the end of the tunnel. Even if we're unable to trade him, I could start to finally see the light at the end of that tunnel, Grump. There's some guys like Anders Lee. It's dark. It's pitch freaking dark. We're in Plato's cave on that one. We're not getting out. But some guys I could start to see the end of the tunnel on. Josh Bailey's one of them.
Whatever. Like I said, until you move some of those guys out, there is no room for anyone else to play on the team. Period. And the first guy they'll move is Anthony Beauvillier. Absolutely, he'll be the first guy they move out before anyone else.
I'm not opposed to move a guy like Anthony Beauvillier. Anthony Beauvillier is streaky. It depends on what you get. I'm not for moving Anthony Beauvillier for an age player, and I'm not for moving him for picks. There has to be a player who can contribute to the team now that isn't above the age of 30 if you move away Anthony Beauvillier, in my opinion.
This team's going to suck for a long time. I'm just telling you. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. If you don't move some of those guys, they're going to be in the lineup every single night. They're not going to get better. You know when they get better? Last 20 games of the season to keep their job for the next year. Recency bias. You know what I remember? The whole rest of the season. When you actually had something to play for and you weren't good enough. That's what I remember. Not the fact that you came on when you're 21 points out of a playoff spot. Oh, look at that. Look how fantastic they are. Oh, and that's how they sell it to the fans. The fans are gullible. They fall for that crap all the time. It's like, oh, well, look at how good they were down the stretch. If it wasn't for COVID, every team had COVID. If it wasn't for the first 13 games on the road, they were spaced out. Stop making excuses. We were terrible this year. From coach all the way on down, GM as well.
Getting back to I don't disagree with that. I think you're right on that last portion for certain. I will say this, though. If you move away guys who are, I won't say the answer, but are guys who are positive producers, I think it's foolish. I really do. For you to say we're going to adopt an ideology that we just need to have 100 first-round picks every single year, and that's going to turn the team around is foolish. It's foolish, Grump.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in a year that's an extremely deep draft, if you can come away with 3 guys who are really primetime talents for moving guys, you do it. Because that's the future of your team.
Ideal situation. Are you talking about this year's draft or next year's draft?
This year's draft right now.
So you can come away with 3 guys, 3 primetime guys. You need 3 first-round picks. You come away with 3 primetime guys. Mm-hmm. Grumpy. So under Barry Trotz, this has always been the issue. Young players don't play. And even under most coaches, a first-round draft pick is anywhere from 2 to 4 years away.
At some point in time, you got to start it, though. What are you going to do? How long are you going to wait?
You can have somewhat of a hey, we're taking a little bit of an injection here. Hey, we've got ourselves 1 first, 2 seconds, and 2/3 in this year's draft. It's a deep draft. Well, that's good. That's a step in the right direction. And if you have other players you can move off of, you've got Atu Ratu. He's a guy who's a step in the right direction. He's a guy who can contribute at the NHL level, hopefully one day soon.
Like I said, what are you hoping to accomplish in the next 2 years? You're just hoping maybe to get the 8th playoff spot, get bounced out, get swept in the first round. Is that a successful season? Because you're on the treadmill of mediocrity then.
What I would like to accomplish in the next few years, I want to, number one, important, sign back Matt Barzal. Number two, adapt to the current style of the NHL. That's extremely important to me.
Wow. Get a new coach.
Get
a new coach.
Okay.
Fire the coach and GM now then.
And number three, helping build up a little bit of the prospect pool. Help build pieces that you can have to put around your Sorokins, that you can put around your Noah Dobsons, your Adam Pellics, your Ryan Pulaks, to put around your Matt Barzals, your Oliver Wallstroms, your Anthony Bavilliers. Put around those players that are the core. We have a core here. We have young players who are contributing.
I agree.
And I think just to blow it up is foolish.
That's not blowing it up. If that's your core, and the older guys are not, those are the guys you move out to replenish.
The older guys all have no trade clauses.
Well, like I said,
every single one of them.
That's a whole nother can of worms.
How can you trade them then if they have no trade clauses?
You have to impress upon them that, you know what, it's time to move on. I don't care what you do. You have to sell it. Be a salesman. Do something. Just say, you know what, then you'll just sit in the minors. Or you're going to sit on the bench because guess what? You're not good enough anymore. We'll send you to Bridgeport. You're not good enough to play on the big team. I know they won't do it, but if you want the team to actually get better, you got to get rid of some of those guys. You have to do it. Just because you sign a long-term deal here doesn't mean you're here for life. That's the way I think the Islanders sign guys like they're here for life.
What unfortunately
we haven't won a cup in 40 freaking years.
Unfortunately, have a general manager who makes stupid decisions by giving him the no trade and modified no move clauses. It hamstrings later general managers and this general manager if they ever want to move the player. You're kind of married to him. Sorry. Again, as much as you want to say, be convincing, be a salesman. Yeah, let's just speak in platitudes some more. Let's speak about how it actually would be done. I don't think it could. Oh, are we at crap, Grumpy? We're at the second intermission, aren't we?
Yes, we are. I'd like to see you do an ad read.
There it is. Do you want to do the ad read like you did last time?
My thing is all scrambled up. I'm going to have to get out again and try to come back in.
Okay. You get out and come back in, and I'll be reading the ad. Today's podcast is brought to you by DraftKings. The NHL season has been packed with dirty dangles, hat tricks, and big wins. As the action rolls on, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, has your shot to win big too. New customers can bet just $1 on any team and win $150 in free bets if they win. That's right. A bump in the win column for your team means free bets for you. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still have a shot to light the lamp. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes at DraftKings Daily Fantasy Hockey Contest. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code THPN and bet just $1 on any NHL team and win $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Must be 21 years or older. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be assessed or assessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, which is 1-800-426-2537 in Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Wyoming. Or you can call 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona. You can call 1-800-522-47 in Colorado or New Hampshire. You can call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. You can call 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. You can call 1-877-770-STOP, which is 7867 in Louisiana, or you can call 877-8-HOPE-NY, the infamous Hope Penny, or text Hope NY, which is 467-369 in York. You can visit opgr.org to go to Oregon, or call or text TN Redline, which is 1-800-889-9789 in Tennessee, or you can call 1-888-532 3500. In Virginia, you must be 21 years or older, but in New Hampshire and Wyoming, you only have to be 18 or older. You must be physically present in Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Michigan, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Only a $5 deposit is required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for a full list of details. Holy crap, man. I tell you, that ad. Woo. You got your internet up and running, Grumpy.
Who knows? Right now it is. I don't know.
Chris Smith saying here, Lee, 4 goals in 2 games. And Jeremy Ford said, the 4 with an assist tonight, 41 goals and 37 assists in 44 games. Not terrible, especially for a 5th round pick. Do you think more of these kinds of late round surprises will happen with limited viewings in the past year?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, and actually last year's draft, the same thing. I think absolutely that could happen. You can see guys, because of COVID, they miss a year of development or whatever. I don't think the 4 fits in that class, but definitely guys who were drafted last year, like Ratu, and this year as well. I firmly believe that. It's like they were a year behind in development.
William DeFore was drafted in 2020. So he only played 28 games, I guess no, he wound up playing 59 games that season.
Yeah, he played a full year.
But they didn't play the playoffs and everything like that as well. But they played the majority of that. But again, I think you are going to see a lot of players who didn't have a lot of action, so it's tough to evaluate what exactly they have skill-wise regarding, a full stretch of a season. Lee plays better with Nelson, I think.
I've always thought they play well together. And even with Bailey on that line, they've always played well together.
John Smith saying the only thing these geriatric scoring is going to do is steal more ice time from guys like Bellows and Wahlstrom, because Trotz rolls with the hot hands.
As long as they're rolled, correct.
Yeah, that's why I put the little quotes on it for certain. Jeremy F says here, Bavillier is really picking up his game this past week or so. Nice to see. I like his game. Just wish he was less streaky.
That's what he is, though. When he's hot, man, he's hot, and whoever he's playing with is going to benefit as well.
Yep.
But when he's cold, that's why the second line was so bad earlier in the year, because Bavillier wasn't playing well. Nelson is not a creator, neither is Bailey, but Bavillier certainly was, without a doubt. He drives the line, he's a line driver.
Mark Nelson's a finisher, though.
No, or whatever. Whatever. Here's the thing. Unless somebody's creating for him, he's useless. Let me just put it to you that way.
He's a finisher with a good wrist shot.
He's an average player.
Dude,
He's an average player.
Oh,
he's an average player.
Hold on. You're putting Brock Nelson on the same plane as Anders Lee. That's where I don't agree with that. You're putting
I think Anders Lee is below average. I think Anders Lee's below average.
Oh, God almighty. Dude.
I don't care how many goals he has. I'm talking about the totality of his game.
All I'm going to say this is about Brock Nelson this year. And then you're going to say, well, he scores against bad teams, blah, 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 which, again, I don't agree with, and I think I've disproven. He's got 23 goals and 11 assists in 46 games, 34 points in 46 games. I'm just saying, a guy who's consistently putting up 55-plus points a season on a full year, I think is good production-wise. I think that's more than average.
Okay. You realize if you average out his career, that's not what he's done. He's had years where he's done that, but I don't think he's ever hit 60 points in his career, ever.
He wasn't okay, so I'll just pop it up on screen. I mean, he's a guy who's consistently around the mid-50s range. Always has been over a full 82 game season, around the mid-50s range, Grump. I'll zoom in so you can see it here.
Okay, 26, 42, 40, 45, 35, 53, 54, 33, 32. So he's had 2 years where he's even had more than 50 points, and you think he's a consistent 50-point scorer. That's what I mean. He's not.
Over an 82-game season,
42, 40, 40, 45, 35. That's not close to 50. I just think you overrate him. I think a lot of Islander fans overrate him because he scores some goals sometimes. And he has certainly played better under Barry Trotz, but he's not great. He's not great. He's okay for a second line center.
I think he's a good second line center. That's right. Okay, so you and I are not far apart. I put good, you put okay. That's fine. Here's the thing. 53 points, 54 points over an 82-game season. And this is, again, 68 games played. Okay. He would have hit 60 points that year.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. He didn't. Here's the thing. Here's I guess maybe let me word it to you this way. He's not a difference maker. Let me put it to you that way. He's not a difference maker.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
There's not many difference makers in the NHL, though.
Okay. Unless you're a difference maker, Adam Pelech is a difference maker, even while he plays defense. Noah Dobson, difference maker. Oliver Wahlstrom has the potential to be a difference maker. Matt Barzal, difference maker. Those are the guys you build around. You don't build around the auxiliary pieces. And I'm not saying that you can't use a Brock Nelson type, but you don't need to pay him $6 million when he's in his 30s if you can potentially get a first and a second round draft pick for him. That's my point. At some point in time, you have to cut bait on these guys while you can still get good value to rebuild the team.
I don't think a defensive defenseman can ever be a difference maker. I think there's one difference maker on that team. It's Matt Barzal. When I look at difference makers, I guess I'm more harsh with what I classify as a difference maker. I mean, like, how many difference makers would you say there are in Florida?
Quite a few. Huberdeau, Barkov, Ekblad. I'd have to look at their roster. They have quite a few really good players.
Here's the thing. If I'm thinking difference maker in Florida, it's Huberdeau. That's a difference maker in Florida, right?
Barkov's the best player on that team.
Barkov's played well. Okay. Huberdeau he's leading the NHL in points.
Barkov
plays well too. Barkov, right? Barkov difference maker. Huberdeau difference maker. I'm not putting Sam Reinhart as a difference maker.
No, I wouldn't either. But I'll tell you what, he's better than Brock Nelson.
Holy shit, looks like the Islanders. The Islanders give up a goal. My God, puck drop happens right as we're finishing up a topic, and the Islanders give up a goal within the first 20 seconds of action to start the third period. Holy shit, you blink, and it's now a one-goal game.
This is how the first period started. Barry Trotz puts the fourth line out against their number one line. Their number one line can play, and they get exposed out there. Again, it's the same thing. It's like too much team speed, too much standing around by our guys.
Holy crap, that went off of Scott Mayfield's skate.
But here's the thing. It's the fact that guy's driving the net. That's a lucky goal. That's not
that's a lucky bounce goal right there. But it's an effort goal. You put yourself in a position like that where crazy things can happen. Throw the puck on that.
What are they challenging this? I hope Barry's not. Maybe they're just reviewing, because you certainly wouldn't be dumb enough to challenge it. He certainly didn't kick the puck.
Maybe he thinks that maybe they're just reviewing if Wheeler kicked the puck towards the net, but they did not see, I guess, that Mayfield. It directed off a Mayfield skate, question mark.
They were just all tangled up. I think he went to take a shot at it. And I did go off Mayfield. Yeah,
it went off of Mayfield. Maybe they think it went off of Wheeler. Dirk C said, hearing that the Maple Leafs might be interested in Bailey and Mayfield.
Move them. If they make you an offer, move them. That's a step in a positive direction, without a doubt.
Jeremy saying here, I wish Pulock would do what Dobson does with the puck at the point. More often than not, Dobson is looking for a stick with a little quick wrist shot / pass, whereas Pulock just bombs it.
Noah Dobson has much better vision and hockey sense than Ryan Pulock does.
Better passer too than Pulock, but better stick handler and passer.
He's a better player than Pulock.
Yep, he
just is. I mean, I like Ryan Pulock, but he's no Noah Dobson.
Nope, absolutely. Remember everybody bad-mouthing Noah Dobson earlier on this year, thinking he wouldn't be a top-line guy. Oh, maybe if we're lucky. I'm not even sure I can guarantee he's going to be a top 4 defenseman.
He should trade him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeremy F. saying here, Who are the top 5 goalies in the NHL right now? Oof, that's a tough one to jump into, right?
Well, let's see. If I'm
Oh,
TJ, it's probably Spencer Knight, Jeremy Swayman,
no.
Shesterkin.
No. Shesterkin's a top. Yes, Shesterkin's a top.
I'm just saying because they're young. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, Shesterkin's a top 5 netminder, no doubt about it. I don't know. You'd really have to. I don't know. You're gonna have to give. I mean, Jacob Markstrom's had a great season this year. I mean, like, right, I'd put him as a top 5 netminder this year for the Flames. The Flames have been really good. Friedrich Anderson's played great, but it's like, okay, how much of that is to do with the actual Carolina Hurricanes is the reason for his production? UC Sorrow has played well.
You can't do that. You can't do that. If the guy's putting up really good numbers, you can't say, well, it's because of this. He either is or he's not. You can't. Well, you don't want to give a guy who's not putting up good numbers, even though he plays on a miserable team, but a guy who's playing well and plays on a good team, well, we don't count him. Anderson's been really good this year.
I put Vasilevsky still as a top 5 goalie.
I'm putting Vasilevsky in there too.
Okay, but when you look at it, right, Vasilevsky's numbers aren't great this year, but he's a fantastic netminder.
And again, in the big moment, he comes up big.
How big does he come up, Grump?
Huge.
Huge, Grumpy says. Once
they have given up a 2-on-0 break.
Oh, we can't
he missed the net. Ugh. But again, their defense is hideous. Hideous. When you give the Islanders 2-on-0 breaks, how bad is your defense?
Pretty bad. Oh, look, was that did Anders Lee get hit up top?
I don't.
Maybe not. Drell said, once Winnipeg lost Dustin Byfuglien, they haven't been the same defensively. So I think it's only natural that Hellebuyck has had a down year.
He was a big loss for them. Well, he wasn't the greatest defenseman. He brought a certain persona and like a mindset to the defensive unit.
Yeah. I will say this. Oh, nice hit. Kiefer Bellows, baby. Nice hit. Bellows playing it physical. I will say this.
Surprised he can get a penalty.
Byfuglien, I always look back on his early days when he used to be a forward, in the same way it was with Brett Burns, where it's just like they line him up out there a forward, and you think to yourself, holy crap, this guy's a hell of a defenseman. How did it take so long to discover, hey, this guy could be a better defenseman than anything else?
And Bellows just got run.
He's been throwing the ball.
Not a cheap shot, but he got knocked down along the boards too.
Now that's
there's a trip. Come on, yeah, all right, they're calling it.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's a trip. The Islanders back on the power play. The third power play for the Islanders tonight. Is it odd that the Islanders have not committed any infractions tonight? I don't think that. Have they been a penalty kill?
I think we had a penalty once. But here's the thing. Second penalty drawn by Barzal today.
We have not had any penalties tonight. That's good. Yeah. Matt Barzal back out there making the difference already. Jake, 2 minutes pessimistic saying here, dude, we're playing well. We've been fun to watch tonight and last night. Bavilier missed the net.
We've been fun to watch, I want to say, for the last 2 weeks. We've been much more enjoyable to watch. And I think it's because it's like we've taken the shackles off. Actually, ever since Bailey and Lee got demoted, we've played better as a team.
Yes.
Because they're just not good enough to play in those roles anymore. Big save by Hellebuyck. That was a big save.
Big save.
See, the pass across from that section, that's not something that we've done recently. That's not something we've been doing for a one-timer. That's a new play, I'm telling you. And this time, Nelson tried to give it to Bavilier on the other side.
Rob saying, go Islanders. We're looking good tonight so far. And playing well as of late, for certain we are.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. I just, like I said, it frustrates me how poorly the veterans played this year, and now all of a sudden, season's over, they step up. I always hate players like that. They drive me crazy. That's our usual thing right there.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I was about to sneeze, Grumpy. I'm like,
no, that's okay. I didn't know if my internet was getting.
No. I'm about to sneeze. And oh my God,
no,
Farley coming up big. How many point blank? Okay, is it disturbing that we're on the power play? For a second there, I'm like, oh, Winnipeg's on the power play because you just take a quick glance on power play as you've got a guy shorthanded taking like 5 or 6 whacks on your goalie just unimpeded down low. It's odd.
Oh, look at Barzal.
Oh, he just missed. Parise just missed. Ooh, just missed. Be nice for Parise to score another goal.
Mean, we were lucky there that everything was like 6 inches from Varlamov.
Yes, you're not kidding.
I'm not saying that he didn't come up big there. He did, but there was nowhere for the shooter to go. Honestly,
Mark A says here, Bonaventure's season and lost. Season's over. The body's done. Andersley 20 goals today this year. The Spartans just hang on. Drew S said here, how does 53 get more ice time after his 4 penalty performance last night, Barry?
Because he's not 26 or 20 or 36.
Talking about the players, not the age.
I'm talking about the numbers of the players. Wallstrom, Bellows, Koivula.
Yeah, Dress. Yeah, takes 1 penalty and he's banished. Ross Johnston.
True. Ross Johnston's another one.
Yep.
Why is Ross Johnson not playing over Matt Martin?
I couldn't tell you. Jeremy F saying, can you name the top 3 plus minuses for Islander players? I know Adam Pelech is always 1. He's 1. I assume Pelech, maybe 2 is Dobson. 3, I'm just gonna say
I
Matt
don't know
Barzal, question mark. I don't know. Oh, Parise, right?
Maybe Parise. Maybe Parise.
Oh, that's a good one. I like Parise. Okay, I go back. If I can go back, I'll say Pelech, Dobson, Parise.
Here's the thing. Dobson, if he is, I don't know our plus minus guys, but he's not. Maybe he's a +3 or +4. Pelech's number 1. But I'm going to say
no doubt Pelech 1.
Yeah. I mean,
give me a sec. I'll pull it up for us, Grumpy. I'll let you know what
that's probably a good idea because I don't know, honestly. Jeremy, man, he's always, I tell you what, Jeremy asks.
Putting us on the spot.
He asks really good questions. Really good. I know I say that a lot. He's like his questions are insightful.
There it is. Oh, well, I'll tell you, it was definitely not Matt Barzal, but let's take a look here.
I didn't think it was Barzal.
Okay, Pelech. Zarnak, holy shit! Zarnak has a +5. Pelech, Dobson, Bellows is a +3.
Wow, did not realize that.
Adam Pelech is a +17, ahead of anybody else by country mile. I knew Dobson was up there. Dobson is a +3, and Bellows, if we're looking at players that are currently on the roster, he's a +3 also. Ross Johnston's a +2. Zach Parise +1.
Yeah. I thought of all the forwards, I was thinking Parise.
Parise is a good one. I don't know why I didn't think of it.
Villiers.
Oh, a nice opportunity and chance. Got a lot of minuses on that list, Grumpy. Pavilion is a -9. Bailey's a -9.
Now, okay, right. They're your top defensive line, right? They go against the other team's big forwards. They've not been good. Again, what's Brock Nelson's +/-?
I just left the screen. It's not good. It's a minus. It's not plus.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And, I don't care that he scores a couple of goals 4 goals against Montreal or scores goals against Chicago. It's about the totality of the game. I think he's overrated this year. I don't think he's been great this year. If you can move him for 2 first-round picks, how do you not do it? I don't know.
Jeremy F says here, okay, well, are you trying to tell, okay, how does it come about? Right? People say, oh, Brock Nelson's done so great. Will you trade us Brock Nelson? And someone's going to go, here's the thing. Brock Nelson should net you more than 2 first-round picks as well.
No.
We traded a first and a second for Jean-Gabriel Pageau, a freaking third-line center who had done nothing but 1 year in a career season, a one career year and a freaking contract season. We gave up a first and a second-round pick for Jean-Gabriel Pageau. You're guaranteeing a team cap certainty of Brock Nelson, who only makes $1 million more than Jean-Gabriel Pageau and is a bona fide number 2 center in the NHL. 2 first-round picks is not enough. If you're seriously entertaining, think about the parameter of what we've paid, what other teams pay. A true number 2 center for 2 firsts is not enough. We gave up a first and a second for a third-line center. Just let it sink in.
We're dumb. Other teams aren't.
That excuse is so unbelievably weak.
Okay.
It is. I don't want to have to go trade by trade to prove it wrong, but it's just not accurate.
We can do that on trade deadline day when we don't do anything. Again,
Jeremy F saying Pulak isn't back 100%. It's tough to come back in a season while everybody else is mid-season form.
Yeah, I don't know. like I said, but he wasn't good early either. Now, here's the thing. But if he's hurt, why is he out there? There's no reason. Ooh, TJ looks like he's having a seizure over there with those.
Get one of those where my body starts to heat up and get warm, like it's gonna, like my body's gonna convulse. You ever get those where it's like you're straining every muscle in your body because you're sneezing so hard?
Oh,
miss! Who was that?
Oh, he missed.
Who was that? Who missed?
Palmieri. Oh my gosh!
How the hell you missed that?
Okay, it was a tough angle. It was a tough angle. And here's the thing: besides this year, I think JG Pageau is just as good an overall player as Brock Nelson. I just think that. This year notwithstanding, because he's not been good this year. I just wonder if he's on the steady decline.
Oh my God. You've got, guess what? That hit his glove and popped out. Josh Bailey has a second goal today.
Oh, Josh. Hold on.
Did you see? Okay. Remember how I said Hellebuyck just doesn't know how to control that hit Hellebuyck's glove and he couldn't hold on to a glove save? That's what I mean. That's not the defense. That's your goalie not doing a job.
I thought it hit the pad. I didn't think it hit the glove.
If it hit the pad, I'll take it back. I thought it hit his glove, but maybe, again, I watch on a phone, so you got to forgive me. Hit his glove.
No, that's the pad. It hit the pad.
Is it the pad?
It hit the pad. It hit the leg pad. Again, it's because there's nothing he could do that. I mean, that rebound was like maybe a foot away from him. You know,
if
you're not going
to. There's nothing he could do. If it's the pad, there's nothing he can do. Again, I'm watching on a phone, so you got to forgive me. But if he hit the pad, there's nothing you can do on that one. I don't blame the goalie.
He's doubled his goal performance for the year in the last 2 nights. That's how bad he's been.
Prime.
I hope Toronto.
Josh Bailey.
I hope somebody says, "Yeah, we like playoff Josh Bailey." He's starting to heat up.
There it is.
You have to move him. Josh Bailey, keep on scoring goals. Here's what I don't want to have to happen. Josh Bailey scored another 8 goals in the next week, and they sign into another extension.
Tony Cheese just sent us something grumpy. He sent us this. We said the garbage man. Well, we've got a fantastic image and photo of Josh Bailey here in the middle, Brock Nelson and Anders Lee, the 3 garbage men, the 2021 New York Islanders, the garbage men grumpy.
That's exactly what they are.
Oh, that's great, Tony. I'll have to zoom in. It doesn't do it justice. Let me try to zoom in so we can actually give the justice to the picture.
I mean, honestly, we deserve to win this game today.
I agree.
Where was this? All right, Winnipeg's not great. But
Columbus isn't great either.
Where was this hustle and drive earlier in the year? I just, it frustrates me knowing this is not a young team that, okay, they get better as the season goes on because they're learning how to play the game. This is a team of freaking veterans who've been to the wars the last 2 years. Got to the Eastern Conference Finals, know how to play this system, and you just came out like dogs the whole year. I'm sorry. And that's not the Islanders I know and love. That's why this is frustrating for me. Sorry.
Oh, man, I'll tell you. Whew. Wow. Phil's Fact said the one thing the last 6 games has proven is that Adam Pelech is more important to the Islanders' success than Matt Barzal.
Oh, Phil is stupid as shit. If I had Twitter, I'd go at him right now. What a dumbass. Where's Phil? Get him on the line.
Get him on the line. Yeah, no freaking way, Phil.
Christ,
I'm sorry. Look at the teams we played too. Come on. Stop.
No, but like I said, Adam Pelech's a difference maker defensively. He is. Absolutely is. We have some guys who are difference makers on this team. Anybody who's not is, like I said, you ask, how would you approach a trade? Well, if somebody said, is Nelson available? What do you want to offer? It's not like, oh, no, he's not. Oh, he's untouchable. Not untouchable. The only guys who should be untouchable are the guys we mentioned, 5 or 6 guys on the whole team. Everybody else, if the right offer is made, you go for it. Nothing wrong with that. You have to realize your team needs a reboot.
A little retool, Grumpy.
What?
A little retool.
Reboot, retool, rebuild. We need to freshen it up. Send the woman to the ladies' room. Let her freshen up a little bit. Bring them back out. Okay.
There it is. Oh man, Josh Bailey with freaking 2 goals tonight. Oh,
where did he score those? Where did he score those goals from, though?
Right in front of the net. The garbage man spot, baby. The garbage man spot. But hey, they count.
Good. What's been my biggest criticism of Josh Bailey for a long time? He
He's
won't go to the
adverse.
net.
He's adverse to go to the dirty areas.
I mean, and he's doing it. I don't know why. Probably heard that there's a possibility he might get traded. He don't want to leave. So he's like, oh, I know they won't get rid of me if I score. Their defense is hideous. Hellebuyck looks better and better all the time.
Holy shit. Hellebuyck just almost did not get him.
He made the save.
He almost didn't get to it because he was so slow and lumbery and lugubrious, just like
lugubrious.
I don't know, man. He's a huge body. He gets I don't know, Grump. Don't know.
I mean,
Josh freaking Bailey with 2 goals. I'm just happy we had such a great Josh Bailey performance when we were you know what would have been good? If we had another goal for Anders Lee and another goal for Brock Nelson. Oh, Grumpy, that would be fantastic. I think you'd be having a great evening.
I don't even think he made that save.
Oh, God almighty.
I think he just, I don't know who it was, just missed
I'll let you read that comment, Grump, and I'll be right back.
What do you think of Lee scoring with 1.4 seconds left in the game last night? And then Wahlstrom is put out for the face-off. There's a slap in the face in my books. Absolutely. Like I said, I firmly believe that Anders Lee was put out there on that power play to get him against a bad team a hat trick because he's never had one his entire career. I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, first of all, why is Wahlstrom not playing every night? Why is Bellows not playing every night? I mean, you want to sub somebody out, you sub some of the vets, and even roll in a Koivula every once in a while. I'm not saying he's the greatest thing ever, but you know what? Can he be part of the solution next year? It's frustrating to me to see them play so well recently, considering how piss poor they've been the whole year. I know I keep on railing on about it, but to me, it's frustrating. It's like, where have you been? Why have you not been hustling? It's like, once again, they feel like they're entitled to their spots. And all of a sudden, they get benched one game or they get dumped down the line. All of a sudden, they're hustling again. Those are the type of players you don't want on your team. I don't anyway. They're not warriors. Like I said, I often ascribe that the Islanders play like they're in a beer league. No one wants to leave. Why would you want to? There's never any repercussions for your actions. There's never. Oh, here comes Matt Barzell on a break. Let's see what he can do. Nice move. Again, 3 guys going at him. Beautiful pass.
Shot.
You're right. Adam Pellet could do that, Phil. Jeez. 3 guys.
When I see stuff like that, you have to remind me because we have to bring that up because here's the thing. Phil is very skilled on Twitter. I don't mess with Phil. I don't mess with Phil on Twitter because he's quick. You just go bam, 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 and hit you with these little tiny things. It's not meant to overarching items. I think it's incendiary, that comment as well a bit. And I guess you got to remember these the next time he's on, Grumpy.
Phil's just stupid as shit. Once again, maybe I could put emoji of a jackass up there.
No, get a little blow pop. Blow me. And then do you guys remember when Lee acted like he just won the Stanley Cup after scoring his 40th goal for a shitty team that wasn't going to the playoffs? And
we've heard other things about Anders Lee where, you know what? I don't think much of him as captain. He's not a leader of men. Sorry.
Oh, Tony Cooper. I love it. I can't wait until Varlamov gets traded and he gives up like 4 goals a game because he's awful positioning. Well, here's the thing too. We didn't even talk about if you were to trade Varlamov. If you trade a guy like Varlamov, he's going to be a 2nd round pick too, or maybe even a 1st. I don't know. People are saying he could be a 1st. If Marc-Andre Fleury doesn't want to leave and if he's truly happy in Chicago, I think Varlamov's the top goalie on the market right now.
I hope he does get traded. I just don't.
2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 2/3 does a hell of a lot towards helping a team rebuild.
My concern is that Lamoriello sees this little brief resurgence. You know what? The more I think about it, the more aggravated I'm getting.
Yep, honestly. I'm the same with you.
Because it's like Lou's going to say, oh, look at them. Yeah, look at them. We're rounding into form. We're ready to go. We're not going to trade anybody because we're going to re-sign Palmieri to a 2 or 3 year deal. No, you move those guys. You move everybody. Just because they had a good spurt, a 5-game spurt where your record is 3-2, that's good enough to keep everybody. And again, it frustrates when I see the veterans playing so much better. I'm going to rule out Parise and Palmieri in there because they've showed hustle the whole year.
Yes.
Yep. But the other guys, Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that's what really burns my butt is watching them. Because where have you been all year? Anders Lee, Brock Nelson, Josh Bailey, the guys who've been here forever. Why were you so invisible this year? It's only when you get benched for a game or two or drop down in the lineup that all of a sudden you pick up your play. I'm sorry. I don't want a guy like that on my team. They're dogs.
They're dogs. Nick D said, could you imagine the Islanders go on a magical run and get within a point of making the playoffs? Grumpy, help me put down the blue and orange sunglasses. Just joking around, of course.
Nick, all you have to do is look at our schedule the last 12 games of the year. You won't be thinking that.
Yeah, not happening. Oh, Matthew S said, still average Anders or not? He also messaged us that on Facebook. Is he still average Anders or not?
Nope, he's below average.
Anders Lee is so freaking average. I'm sorry. I slowly do agree with that with Grump. You look at the skill set. I'm sorry.
Which line is out here getting roasted? Oh, it's the fourth line again. What do you know?
Boom, roasted.
Just Jesus Christ. They're not even a Bolivian blend. They're just burnt coffee, just toast. They're Elvis Patterson out there.
Oh man,
you know what Elvis Patterson is, TJ?
I know. I didn't even know you knew I didn't even know what a Bolivian blend is, but I'm like, that's a pretty good knowledge of a coffee roast.
Roasted coffee is what it is. Roasted. Elvis Patterson played cornerback for the Giants when they won the Super Bowl in 1986, but his nickname was Toast. He was burned so often.
Now, who was that nickname given to him by?
Probably Parcells. Parcells didn't give a shit. You played like unless it was Taylor. He would never yell at Taylor. He would always yell at everybody else when Taylor in the earshot. Talk mad shit about him. Some guys got to get their heads out of their asses around here, right? As Taylor walked by looking at somebody else. He called it. I love Parcells, man. He was a great coach. Just great.
Let me ask you this. I know you mentioned how he was given that nickname. I was just interested to see if he was given the nickname or is a self-given nickname like defensive
no.
nickname.
No, it's not like Russell Westbrook.
Or defensive back Cooper. Here's the thing with Anders Lee. The guy's got 20. He got 28 points in 50 games this season or something like that. Is that fantastic? I don't know, about a point every other game. And if you play on the first line and you play every single power play opportunity, that's
always out there in the last minute of a game. That's a hook by Nelson. Did he get away with it? Looks like he did. My God, little slashing going on. That was definitely a hook on Nelson. Come on.
Things are getting a little testy down.
How did the official not make that call, though?
And here's the thing, too. You look at Anders Lee. He's had in the last 3 games, Anders Lee has 7 points in the last 3 games. I'm sorry. A lot of it, I'm just, the guy doesn't score in impressive fashions. A goal is a goal. Don't get me wrong. You play on the first line and you average about a point every other game. And you play on the first power play unit and you play, like, what does he play? 6? You play 16 minutes and 30 seconds a night and you average a point every other game.
And here's the thing. In all the big offensive situations, he's out there. With the empty net, he's always out there. Bailey, Nelson, Lee, empty net situation, they're out there. Are they the best defensive players on your team? Plus minus would tell you different. But they're always out there. Always. I'm sorry. Guys like that, to me, that just stat stuffers at certain times. And Anders Lee, same thing. People are going to look, he had 40 points this year, 45 points, and it was such a tough year. Look how good he was down the end. Yeah, he was good when the season was over. He was dog shit the rest of the way. Anyway you want to look at it, he sucked this year. I'm sorry. He's come back since he was demoted to the third line. All of a sudden, he plays tougher. Look at Bailey going into corners. Please.
I'm happy to see it, but I'm like, where was this? Oh, Josh Bailey mixing it up. Wow, yeah. Grumpy, might be the best game Bailey's ever played.
He needs protection, though. He needs protection.
Bailey mixing it up physically and scored 2 freaking goals tonight. Who the hell is this? Who put on a Josh Bailey uniform this evening?
Like I said, remember I say he plays one of those games a quarter? That's what it is.
Holy shit. Look at him showing some feistiness, showing some actual freaking. Look at him, Josh. Drop the gloves, Josh Bailey.
Yeah.
Drop the gloves and get into a fight,
I
baby.
hope Toronto has a
Look at him
scout.
chirping the bench. Look at him chirping the Winnipeg
I hope
bench.
Toronto has a scout in the building tonight. I hope they have all their pro scouts in the building tonight.
Let's see this. They're going to zoom in. Josh Bailey.
He's going. Is that
he whiffed on it and he got hit and he didn't like it. I guess
hit.
It was a clean hit. Oh, he got stick towards it. He got stick towards it.
Ooh.
He sticked the living shit out of the guy's nuts. Oh, Josh Bailey. That's a little. Ooh.
No penalty though. No penalty. How do you not call a penalty there?
Okay. The guy first did try to stick Bailey in the nuts, but Bailey luckily had his stick to protect the King's jewels. But
Bailey knows where Bailey knows where nuts are. Believe me.
Bailey didn't miss on his stick attempt. Bailey made contact. He made the swing count.
4-on-4.
Oof.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, I'll take it.
That guy's got one testicle left.
Look at Barry's eyebrows. Look at Barry. He still looks so perturbed out there. And he's got this lot.
How did you give Josh a penalty? He's so smart. Was that a smart play? Was that a smart play? Retaliating like that? Nut shot?
You got to rough it. They both got roughing penalties. Players have done that before. Here's the thing. If that was Ross Johnson who did that, he probably would be serving a suspension. But Josh Bailey doesn't have the... Dude, I'm telling you. Did you see how he barely was able to handle a wraparound?
He was there in plenty of time.
He left a gaping hole for his 5-hole.
Listen to me. Let it go of the Hellebuyck hate, please. Let's get to some smart comments. People who agree with me, the smart
Grumpy old man, more hate on Brock Nelson or not? Yeah, He still hates Brock Nelson, but Brock Nelson, I don't get the Brock Nelson hate. He doesn't like him. It's just
because he's been dog shit the whole year too.
Stop.
All of a sudden, the season's over. Those guys are starting to wake up.
He's performed all season long. He's been consistent all season.
No, he hasn't. In a handful of games. He's performed in a handful of games.
That's wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want me to track his point production to see how many games he's had points?
You can do that on your own time, not during the podcast, please.
Oh, grumpy. Dirk also saying here, I agree with Grumpy about Hellebuyck, but I think Gibson is even better. John Gibson. That's another guy too. John Gibson.
Plays on a dog shit team. Is a good goalie, though.
Him and Bailey are playing hard, and that's the difference. Yeah. TJ, I'm taking your comparing goalies. Hellebuyck is really good. You see how many shots Winnipeg is giving up to us? We're one of the worst offensive teams in the NHL. We've played so well, though, offensively. And, hold on a second. Matt Barzal's back in action. Never mind. We've looked bad tonight. We only looked good offensively when Matt Barzal was not in the action because we're better offensively with that Matt Barzal in the game. Didn't you guys know this?
They're terrible defensively.
So. They are. I was trying to joke around about and play into the people saying that our team is better offensively when Matt Barzal's not into the lineup. Will Miller saying here.
We can talk about that tomorrow. We got 5 minutes to go in the game. Let's hit some of the smart comments, the ones who agree with me again. Oh man, I keep telling you, we get these ones that they try to go ahead and comment in. They say very not so nice things in the comment section. Oh wow, we got a lot of comments. Will M saying, "Let's go Islanders, beat the Jets." Power play time. Norris notoriously goes to the guy who's got the best offensive defenseman. Cale Makar will win it this year for that reason. Agreed. Guys, isn't it weird? The Islanders playing a home game on Friday night. We said the same thing. It's odd. Very much so. Yes. It might get some snow here tomorrow in Pittsburgh. I got snow where I was today. Crazy to think of in March. TJ, by the way, tomorrow's podcast, we're going to have a special visitor on the show. I'm certain of it. Who's going to visit? My son's dog is going to be here. The dog. The unofficial... Okay, did you see that right there? Look at how shitty that was on his part. He does not do a good job. Again. Move on. Get over it. He's good. Sorry you don't like him. Sorry. He made this. Okay, Grump. Oh, man, I'll tell you. Oh, Grumpy's having some tech issues today, too, so I could just opine more about... there, you're back. You're back, Grumpy. I see you now. Like you said, don't blame Bailey. Trotz shouldn't put him out there on a power play. True. Having some major deja vu right now. Puck luck and Capuano's favorite line. Absolutely. It feels weird
Seeing a full screen TJ. Yeah, I know. Felt weird too.
That's a
Patrick
bad
Waugh didn't have a good goals against average in the regular season, but he was the best goalie in the playoffs. And when it counted, with the most 4 cups, 2 with Montreal, 2 with Colorado. Absolutely. Any first and second round picks in the next 2 years aren't making the team until Barzal's 29 years old.
Trotz will be gone. I really firmly believe Trotz will be gone. After another bad season next year, he'll be gone.
Steve,
by the way, Clutterbuck just scored goal number 5, empty net with
holy shit, they had an empty net.
4 minutes and 44 seconds to go.
Thanks for letting me know. I totally stopped watching the game because I knew the game was over because
I know you never watch the game.
Bullshit. I watched the game.
We do a watch along, but he doesn't watch the game and he yells at me for actually watching the game.
Bullshit.
Next comment, please.
Bullshit. You know, for that, we're going to stop the comment. We're going on a comment ceasefire, comment hiatus now, Grumpy. Steve S. says, love the show, guys. You definitely know your hockey. I don't get Grump hating on Brock Nelson with his 23 goals. You and many others don't understand it. I don't understand it either. It doesn't make sense.
The reason why, Steve, is because I don't care that he scores 4 or 5 goals a year against Montreal and other shitty teams, or scores goals when the other team has an empty net, or when the game is 6-1, he's scoring goals. No, sorry. That's more about consistency. And he's played his best hockey under Barry Trotz, but he's always been the same type player.
He's been a consistent 55 plus a year guy.
He's never even reached 55 points in his career. Not once.
We'll see if he hits it this year.
Not even once. Not even once. And TJ said he's a consistent 55
He's
points.
He's a consistent 50.
He's never even scored 55 points in his career once. Never.
He's a consistent 50 a year guy. 50 point a year guy. Defensive back Cooper says, let's play a game. Who is the least overpaid?
Noah Dobson.
Zach Parise. No. Oh, okay. I don't count guys on entry level deals. If you want to,
look at that big rebound by Varley.
Yeah, big rebound is right. Zach Parise. For most value for the bang for your buck on a guy who's not a rookie or not on an entry level.
Not a rookie.
Not on I'd say entry level deal. I think Dobson's the best, right? Best overall, cheapest contract, Noah Dobson, but he's on an entry level deal, so you kind of have that advantage. If I'm saying who's a guy we were able to actually have to sign via free agency or has the ability to go free agency, I think the best deal is Parise.
Okay, that's fine.
Grumpy old man not having a good night. Bailey Nelson and Lee all scored.
True, it's like a nightmare for me. But you know what? The reason why it's a nightmare for me is these guys have played like garbage all year. Season's over. No shot of making the playoffs. And now they start producing. Oh, it chafes my behind.
Chris, you're saying, I don't think he hates Nelson. I just think he thinks he doesn't score against good teams.
He doesn't.
That's not true. Not true.
But
we'll talk about it later. John A. says here, this year's draft is deep. They need to replenish that empty cupboard. The draft and the one after are both deep drafts. I hate to say it, but Grump is right. I don't remember what it's about Bocephus, but about
if you can get value for guys to retool, you have to do it now with the guys who have the most value.
JG wants to know, Grumpy, did your head explode when Lease got his hat trick last night?
I didn't get to see the hat trick because we were doing the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man show, but I did see the first goal. So, I mean, I don't hate Anders Lee. I look at him differently because I'm used to winners and he's not one.
Okay.
I guess that's the best way for me.
Yes, and cool shirt, Anson. Cool shirt by Anson Carter. And Thomas B says, I totally agree with Grump. Even if you're only retooling, you need first round draft picks. It is not only necessary to suck to get elite talent, but you got to be lucky enough to suck when the draft is deep. The next 2 years drafts are deep. The 2023 draft, many say, is as good as the 2015 draft.
That's why you load up. That's why you load up on picks the next 2 years.
Christmas said, Anson Carter is singing the Josh Bailey song. Hey.
I like that Anson Carter. I like Anson Carter on the show. I do.
Threw his phone at the TV, says DB Cooper. Defensive back Cooper throws his phone at the TV. Jeremy Ford said, who do you guys predict will be the next 3 win the next 3 Stanley Cups?
Carolina, Tampa, and Colorado.
I'm going to do this. Here's something that's going to be funny.
You know who's not going to win the cup? The Islanders.
The Rangers. New York Islanders. No, I'm just kidding.
we might not even make the playoffs in the next 3 years.
You think it's going to be that bad?
If we don't change what we're doing with the roster, we're just going to go further down the rabbit hole. You'll hear it from me first. Everyone agrees with me now about everything I've been saying for the last year and a half. It's just going to get worse. And the more we win right now, the worse it's going to get. Scheifele is super pissed.
The Islanders are back on the power play. What the hell has got him going to the box? The game's freaking over. With 1 minute and 30 seconds left, why the hell is he going to the box? I didn't see it. I wasn't paying much attention. Who the hell is that?
That's Bucky. Bucky the ref.
I don't know which ref that is. I want to see the penalty.
Ricky ref.
What the hell was the call for?
I don't know.
Ah, shit. Somebody please let us know in the comments. Frank K says, Tommy Baffy's been throwing popcorn at him all game. Well, the thing is, he's going to have to clean it up afterwards. So, well, no, it's only in Lou's. That's only in Lou's office. He's the special Lou Lamoriello janitor. Willem Dafoe does not play in the NHL. I guess it looks like Dafoe could possibly be a bottom 6 forward in the future for us. I think
he's a bottom 6 forward.
Underrated.
Oh, see, no. That's the narrative they want to push. He's not underrated. Absolutely not. When you talk about a guy, oh, here we go. Let's see what happens. Oh, another huge save by Hellebuyck. Thank you.
You even put it on net.
On a 2-on-1. He did put it on net.
I just read it. The glance off the post. I just read it. It's the only reason I know the closed caption. I don't see it. I had to read it. Okay. You don't think Brock Nelson's underrated, Grumpy?
Oh, another save on Barzell point blank. Yeah. Hellebuyck sucks, right?
He's getting 4 goals tonight, Grumpy. Some of them are his fault, too. Anyway, continue. JG says, I think Brock Nelson's a bit underrated.
No, it's the exact opposite. When you keep on talking about a guy enough, he goes from underrated to overrated.
Holy shit, that was Josh Bailey who hit the post.
Bailey.
No, he didn't hit the post. It was a save. Is it safe?
I told you it was a save.
Okay, I read in the
What the hell are you doing? Listen, you're reading something. I'm watching it again.
Josh Bailey almost scored a hat trick tonight.
Well,
Josh Bailey's on fire. Hopefully they pull the goalie. Josh Bailey will get himself another goal. Empty netter. Give himself.
Yeah, Anders Lee's out there again, 5-2. Why isn't Bellows out there?
Wow, Josh Bailey's still out there.
Look at him, man. Look at who he's got.
Pull our goalie. Can we pull the goalie to give it Josh Bailey and Nelson and Lee out there?
Bailey on the power play. No Matt Barzell. Jesus, man, I'll tell you what.
He's something else, isn't he?
That Barry Trott's a piece of shit dust. He is. I'm going to roll out these garbage players. I'm going to show the grumpy old man. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Pull the goalie and try to get those guys an extra goal.
The game's over. I think he's saying, I wish I could have played Lee. There's Lee and Bailey. Where's Nelson? They can all grab each other's asses on the way out today.
Play grab ass.
Play him 25 minutes a night.
2 freaking games.
You know what? Here's the thing. If he's able to trade all 3 of them, I'm all for it. Go for it.
He's not going to trade. Anders Lee, he cannot do that. Anyway, getting a few comments here before we jump off. Jeremy Fortarian. Nelson does not drive the line. I agree. He needs Bevillier's wheels. Yep. I mean, Nelson's more the finisher. I like Lee with Nelson and Bailey. I'd like to have Bevillier with Pajot and Wallstrom.
They were good together, too.
Grumpy, are you a difference maker? That's the truth.
Absolutely.
There it is.
But here's the thing. Even if I'm not, I don't get paid like they do. Let me just tell you that much.
Jeremy says here, I think Nelson has become a more of a reliable 200-foot center, which is what you want out of there, your second line center. Couldn't agree.
But he's not been great in the defensive zone this year. He's not been good in the defensive zone. That's why I'm hard on him this year. That's why I'm like, move him. If he plays like he did earlier seasons with Trotz, where he earned Trotz's trust, and he was that player, he's not that player this year. That's my problem with him. In a nutshell, that's my problem.
JG says here, Grumpy, during last game, I heard AJ said Butch makes fun of her hair. I immediately thought of you.
How could you not make fun of her hair? It's fucked up.
Chris Smith said, put the puck in the net and good things happen. Or put the puck on net, good things happen. Jeremy F said, a couple of tough bounces there, but that's just getting the puck to the net. Yeah. Pellick is a difference maker. Absolutely. Yep. Just look at how bad we suck defensively when he is not in the lineup. 2 years ago, our downward spiral began immediately after he went out with injury.
True. Like I said, he's a difference maker defensively, without a doubt. We have some guys who are, I consider, could be parts of a Stanley Cup winning team, without a doubt. Absolutely.
I don't know. So you consider Dan Hamhuis? Dan Hamhuis was a better defensive defenseman than Adam Pelech. Dan Hamhuis was a difference maker. Dan Hamhuis also produced more offensively than Adam Pelech. So Dan Hamhuis during his prime for Vancouver was a difference maker.
He was really good. They would have beat Boston if they didn't have 6 injuries to the defensemen. They were playing their numbers.
Exactly. Really good. Was Dan Hamhuis a difference maker? You got some recency bias going on. Dan Hamhuis was a freaking fantastic defensive defenseman, unbelievable defensive defenseman, and produced more offensively than Adam Pelech did. Was Dan Hamhuis a difference maker?
On that team, he was.
Oh, that's it. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. Grumpy,
Hamhuis was damn good.
10 difference makers on that team. So Vancouver had 10 difference makers on that team.
Okay, but he was a second pairing guy.
Man,
they were a way better team. Here's the thing. Adam Pelech is damn good. He's damn good.
He is good. Really good. Difference maker, I don't know.
Defensively, he's a difference maker. Not offensively, defensively. He is.
I don't break it down to defensively, offensively. I say
that's because you're not skilled enough to do that.
Is the guy a difference maker, dude?
That's why. Here's the thing.
Stats.
Here's the thing. That's why I watch the games on the TV, and you watch them on your little phone.
I'm gonna murder you, Grump. I'm gonna murder you.
Freaking.
Dan Hamhuis was a freaking fantastic defensive defenseman, and he put up points, dude. More points than Adam Pelech did. That's all I'm going to say on that. One last
Dan Hamhuis was not as good defensively as Adam Pelech is right now. Adam Pelech is one of the top defensive defensemen in the league.
Bullshit. Dan Hamhuis was one of the top defensive defensemen back in the league. Grumpy, do you not remember the 2000, 2009, 2010, 2011? Is that not coming back to your brain?
Oh, my God. Can we move on to something else so we get these comments? We could talk about this tomorrow. Answer the comments, please.
Maybe Uncle Leo was a difference maker after all. The straw that stirs the drink.
Yeah, very true.
After Barzal and Dobson, who are you excited to watch on the ice?
Sorokin.
Good answer. Maybe we go on a 13-2 run. We haven't had that run this year. You know, there's more than 4 or 5 games yet. It's possible.
Not if you see what our schedule is.
Earlier in the season, a successful power play was one where we didn't give up a shorty. Look at how far we've come. Absolutely. I wonder if Ratu is going to be immediately inserted into the top 6 next year. No way.
Nope.
Pelech has a top defensive, the plus minus on this team by a country mile. Bellows and Wallstrom, the next two, crazy. I still think
the difference in our power play is the maturation of Noah Dobson and Barry Trotz just saying, you know what? I'm not going to put the shackles on him anymore. That's been the difference. That's been the difference in the team overall. Him.
Grumpy, isn't Beauvillier our best left winger? If so, why would you want to trade him? Shouldn't he play with Matt Barzal? And at the age of 24 years old, I'm not ready to give up on him. I'm sorry.
I don't want to trade Beauvillier. We were doing an exercise of who we could trade.
Why would you want to do that, though?
Who has trade value? Because, oh, man, you know what?
Trade value. Okay. So you want to give up on a 24-year-old to get more draft picks to hopefully pan out?
Again, if you could move Anthony Beauvillier for Brock Besser, I like Brock Besser.
Brock Besser would not be a good fit here, unfortunately. Do you think Brock Besser would play defense? Answer to that question is no. If you don't play defense, you don't work under Trotz. I don't think Trotz should be here much longer, but Trotz will be here longer. So the fact that Alan Pelech is plus 18 and 15 ahead of the next guy in the lineup is a plus 18 and 15 ahead of the next guy in the lineup as a player is pretty crazy to think about, considering he plays a tough matchups all night long.
True.
All night long. Da, da. Sing it, Grumpy. Sing it, Grump. I'm congested, Grump. Sing it.
Next comment.
Mario here, he says, just because Lamoriello is dumb enough to give up a first and a second for third line center doesn't mean that another general manager. Look at what Foligno went for last year. I'll rest my case. Look at what Foligno went for last year. There's always a dumb general manager. Can you find the dumb general manager? That's what it's always about. Garth Snow didn't make many trades, but always found the dumb GM most cases. Yeah, Bailey scores again. Absolutely. The Bailey song. Bailey with 2 tonight. Bails us out again. Yes. Sell high, Lou Lamoriello. Wicked Bailey tonight. We'll get you a first rounder for him. Absolutely.
No way.
If you take the deal today, we'll give up Josh Bailey for 2 first-round picks. If you're lucky, if you sign a deal today. If you wait till tomorrow, the price might increase because Bailey's playing oh so well.
If Toronto is truly looking at him and Mayfield, I don't see how you cannot make that deal. Let's say it's 2 number ones for those 2 guys. Would you do it?
For which ones, I'm sorry?
For Bailey and Mayfield.
2 number ones for no. 2 first-round picks for Mayfield and Bailey? Hell freaking no.
What's wrong with you?
You need more than that. Simple. You need more than that.
You're overestimating the value of these players. Josh Bailey.
It's the contract for the 10th time. It's the contract for Mayfield. He's a top 4 defenseman on every team in the NHL that's got 1 year left at $1.45 million, who's an offensive defenseman that plays the physical clutch and grab style that excels in the NHL playoffs.
You're so dumb. It scares me. Go to the next comment, please.
Grumpy, you're so thick-headed. You're so mentally obtuse. You drive me nuts, Grump. Bailey is on a tear. Oh, and why, TJ, do you not get yourself an iPad? I don't know. Just use the phone. Bailey with 2 goals. A rough night for the grumpy old man, for certain it is. Bailey doubled his goal production in 2 games. If we trade away Nelson at 30, if you want good value in return, because you have another good center in Pajot who could move up to the second line. We're not thin at center, so we can afford it.
That's exactly right. It speeds up the rebuild. It helps you. The next 2 years is when you want to cash in with draft picks. The next 2 years.
Shooters Puck Hockey says Lou won't do anything or luck, and the Islanders go on a run, and that makes Lou think we're fine. Time to stand pat.
That's my concern. That is my concern.
Yikes.
Just before, isn't it funny? Just before the trade deadline, all these suck-ass veterans are starting to show out all of a sudden. A little too convenient for me.
Hey, man, we're just unlucky. We didn't get the puck bounces. They changed things back to the way they were beforehand. They got the right water. They were drinking Aquafina, but really like Dasani, and that's what changed everything.
Stop trying to be funny.
I know you hate when I do it, so I do it just to piss you off. Drew Elson trying to find an excuse to diss Connor Hellebuyck. Absolutely. What a pass by Matt Barzal. Hi, guys. Trade Bailey now while he's hot. Absolutely. Travis Green says Brock Nelson's having a good year, or is having a good year. Good for him. Absolutely.
A good year for him. He says he's having a good year for him. LOL. See, don't misread the comment to make it fit your pathetic little narrative.
Travis Green said,
you know what
Brock
Travis
Nelson
Green wanted to say?
Fantastic second line center. Absolutely, Travis Green. I agree with you. Very
you know what Travis Green wanted to say?
What do you want to say?
Brock Nelson blows. That's what he wanted. He wanted to give him the old blow pop emoji.
Brock Nelson, blow pop emoji. I was thinking about putting Phil as the driver on the truck, but it doesn't look natural in my photo editor as a truck. Yes, let us know. We got to go ahead and do that. That'd be funny. Toast Patterson. Dan
Jason knows who I'm talking about.
You're exactly right, Grump. I am so scared this stretch is going to make them buyers and stand pat. I don't care if we trade Parise, Chara, Clutterbuck, and Green for 4 lousy picks between the 4th and the 7th round. Let the young guys play, and maybe one of these low picks panned out, aka Devon Taves.
Yeah, I want to shoot a little higher than that. I think you can move all those guys if there's any takers. Absolutely. But I'd love to see them move Bailey. And if you really want to shoot the moon, hey, ship out Mayfield, ship out, Nelson, guys who can get you real value.
Let's ship out Barzal. Let's ship out Sorokin.
Oh my God, here we go. Next comment. Just because you don't understand what I'm saying, because you're so limited mentally, is no reason for you to attack me with it.
Yeah, Grumpy. We should go ahead and ship out 7 or 8 players on our roster. That sounds good.
We'll be lucky if we get rid of 3. Lucky.
Dan L said, good offense reference, TJ. Boom, roasted. Thank you. Glad I got it. And then Sargas fell asleep. What did I miss? A hell of an offensive performance. Paulo C said we should trade Lee. But he has a no trade clause. So which forwards can be moved for value? It has to be Nelson. I'm talking about which forwards can we trade for value?
That's all I was saying, Paulo. That's all I was saying. That's who gets you the most value for the forwards. It's probably Nelson and Bavillier. Those are the guys who give the most value. And on the defensive end, from the defense, it's Mayfield. Those guys can get you the most return for moving them.
Max P saying here, Lee is useless unless he's more than 5 foot from the net. If it weren't even remotely possible to move him, I'd be thrilled. Bailey is engaged tonight. Yeah, absolutely. Josh Bailey bringing out his inner savage tonight. Good for him.
That was
Guy chopped him in the chops.
That was a cheap shot.
Make them buyers or stamp pad. Oh gosh. Bailey upping his trade value. Outstanding. LOL. The King's Jewels. Bailey has a Queen's.
Ooh.
God almighty. Oh, no. Bailey pulling a Crosby out there. Nice for all off. Bailey showing cojones tonight. I love it. Glad to see it. Guys, you think the Islanders are showing up now because they're getting close to the trading deadline? Don't forget, next week, NFL free agency too.
That's going to be wild and crazy NFL free agency. We talk about that exclusively on the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man show. It's going to be wild. Absolutely.
Tony Cooper
Major League Baseball going crazy too. Grumpy
with that dial-up internet. You know, TJ, you're right. Hellebuyck is trash on opposite day. Josh Bailey is, what is that, an eunuch?
A eunuch. No balls.
Gotcha. A smart little hook by Pellick on Clutterbuck's goal. Absolutely. Hey guys, good evening. Team has played really well. What's up, Alexander? Thank you. Yep, good evening. And they have played well. Bailey is a whole new player. Any chance Bailey gets the hat trick? Well, he just missed it. I guess that was another comment. All these wins are ruining the tank. Yeah, absolutely. Nick C saying here, what if we get a 15-game win streak? We wake up from our dream.
I'd be stunned.
The likelihood of that's so low, unfortunately, so low. And then has there ever been a team where the Islanders have had 2 different players score a hat trick in back-to-back nights?
I guarantee that's happened. Don't ask me when. I guarantee that's happened in the past. Certainly back in the glory days. Absolutely. Recently, I don't know. Certainly not as long as Barry Trotz has been coach.
Shit. Now I worry that I'll go on Sunday and they would have used up all the goals that week. Oh, man.
That's true.
Anson Carter is the best. Yeah, I like Anson Carter. Scheifele was for unsportsmanlike. I don't mind taking unsportsmanlike penalties. Sometimes
he's probably pissed.
Yeah. I mean, the performance out there, they got rolled the way they did against the Islanders. They're like, holy shit. I gotta get the team fired up. And all the media cartels. Oh, all lions of the media cartel are difference makers.
Not the bootlicking weasels, though.
Trotz or what is that? Trotzy's 900 win?
I don't think he has 900 wins.
Josh Bailey, the number 1 star of the night. Look at this. 10 goals in 2 games. Plus 1 empty netter. Varley, 3rd star. Nelson, 2nd star. Bailey, 1st star. Yeah, Bailey, the 1st star. Wow. Back-to-back wins. I know. Crazy. Jeremy Ford said, what a great memory that would be for Bailey to have his last game as an Islander, pick up 2 goals and balls and get the winner. Get the 1st star. Pick up the phone, Lou. Make the call.
Absolutely.
Bring up Michael Del Cole. All we need to do is win 18 more in a row, and then we'll have a shot. Have a good night, fellas.
Everybody else lose.
Absolutely. I hate it when Center Ice doesn't give me the post-game show. Yeah, it sucks. And then Brock Besser doesn't move the needle. I agree, Matthew. And then Grumpy Cooper says, "Thanks for the stream, boys. Look at that! Look at that, Grump. Who is that, Grumpy?
Tony Cheese.
Oh,
Defensive back Cooper.
defensive back Cooper.
Defensive back Cooper. That's the worst. Defensive back Cooper is the worst one ever, TJ.
Don't worry. Just wait a few weeks and it'll be a new worse one.
Yeah, I know.
Alexander said, would you rather have Laviolette here or here still over Trotz?
I like Laviolette. I do.
Matthew has said, other general managers are dumb enough. They're desperate. I do agree with that. General managers get dumb and desperate and emotional towards the trade deadline. I think that's 100% the case. Grumpy old man and a heartbeat. 2 number ones for Mayfield and Bailey.
Yeah, how would you not do that?
Not enough. Rob G says, thanks, guys. I enjoy listening to your show during Islanders hockey. I'm a big fan. Thanks, Rob G, for tuning in. Laviolette is like Tortorella, wears out quick. Yeah, I find Brock Besser, he'd fit nicely with Matt Barzal.
I like Besser, too.
We already don't play a guy who's a sniper who is, I feel like Wallstrom is a guy like Brock Besser. We already don't play Wallstrom very much.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I like, you know what? Give me talent. Give me guys who are talented offensively. I like guys like that. Okay.
Shane H says Bailey getting hot at the deadline. Maybe somebody will take him. I hope so.
Or more probably, Lou's going to go, hey, you know what? That Josh Bailey, I think he's having a career resurgence at 32.
That Philip Forsberg's really playing well. We should go ahead and trade away our first, second, and Atu Ratu this year and additional pieces to get Philip Forsberg because we're going to double down. I could see some nonsense like that. And give up Anthony Beauvillier. That's going to be the fix of our problem. Rob G says, Grumpy, let's get rid of the whole team. LOL. I love Beauvillier, but he does not fit the style of the team, Grump.
I don't think he doesn't fit the team. If you mean because he has talent, he doesn't fit the team. Well, Barzal doesn't fit the team either.
Grumpy, you'll like this one. This is from Drew Grumpy. Tell me what you think of this. Bailey, Lee, and Nelson these last 2 games. Oh, look at that, Grumpy. How does it make you feel?
It's not coming up. It's just spinning for me. Oh, here it is. Oh my God. Whoever sent that to you should just be banished.
It was Drew L.
Do not degrade those great players with those hideous names.
That was the joke, Grumpy.
It was fun.
Nick D says Mr. Softy ice cream stocks went way up tonight. Keep going, Bailey, so we can get more for you.
Melts down your hand.
I love how he phonetically spelled cojones for TJ. Thank you.
And he still got it wrong.
Oh man. You cannot rebuild with Lou and Barry. Yeah, gotta go. Or they've all got to go. Or Clutterbuck is getting an 8-year, $10 million per deal. Paulo says here, Beauvillier is 24 years old and on the upswing. That's why you don't trade him.
Okay, I didn't say we should trade Beauvillier. I'm saying who could we trade who doesn't have a no trade clause who could get us value? That's what I'm saying. Because TJ says, well, they all have no trade clauses. You can't move them. You can't even ask them if they want to move, because I would definitely approach those guys for certain. But guys who don't have no trade clauses, Beauvillier, Nelson, Mayfield get you the most value. That's it. We don't have anybody else.
Grumpy Cooper says, I think defensive back Cooper is the butt fumble of this podcast. Nothing can top it. Something will top that. I promise you.
Pretty good.
I promise you, DB Cooper. Grumpy is like the Bill Belichick, all talent. Damn, don't be giving him too much. Anthony R said, you guys are joking now about Lou staying pat, but I'm really worried he will. I kind of have that slowly creeping in, and it's one of those where I just kind of push it off. Like the meme where it's the dog in the fire. He's like, everything's fine. That's where I am right now. Grump, do you know the meme I'm talking about?
I don't know. I don't know about memes. What do you think? I'm a kid? I don't know any. Do you think I prowl around for memes?
Give me a second, Grumpy. I'll pull it up. I knew you were about to say something. I didn't want to cut you off.
I am worried about that. if we start playing better, particularly the trash on this team that I regularly bury, deservedly so, all of a sudden stepping up in the last week before the deadline, so there's no risk of moving them because, look, there's upside with these guys. That's when you should move them.
This is the meme, Grumpy. It's like, this is
fine.
fine. And it's the house burning down.
And a dog is sitting there drinking coffee.
Yes, it's a meme.
Okay. I don't know what it means, but that's cool.
What do you mean you don't know what it means? Oh,
Bailey I've never seen a dog drinking coffee or wearing a hat.
Bailey looks miserable, by the way. But hopefully he
looks pretty. He looked pretty good today.
Maybe his hair. I don't know. That's embarrassing. Oh, maybe his hair or something like that. The way he looked in the post game. I don't know.
Oh, he's got a little buzz cut because his kid shaved his head or did something crazy. Lack of parenting.
Drew Elson. I guess you're gonna banish. I guess you're gonna banish one of your top fans, Grumpy. Is what he says. Good. Garth Snow was a better general manager than Old Man Lou.
I'll tell you what. Garth Snow never lost a trade, ever.
Okay, he did lose the Tom McVanick trade.
Not initially, he didn't.
Here's the thing. Lou Lamoriello did something that Garth Snow could never do. Bring in a legitimate coach. He didn't
lose the trade. He lost the pick because he couldn't re-sign anybody. That was his issue. But he always won in trades. Vanek was better than Molson. Period.
What are you talking about? Matt Molson's fantastic.
Okay.
That's all sarcasm. But Grumpy Cooper says, love you guys. Catch you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Matthew S. said no, his expression. Oh, he looks miserable, his expression. Maybe he knows the writing is on the wall. But Grump, we're here at the end of the show today. What do you want to say before we wrap things up?
If Josh Bailey gets traded, I'm gonna smile my ass off. That's all I know.
You're gonna buy.
I won't be able to
buy a Josh Bailey jersey if wherever he went.
I won't be able to wipe the smile off my face if he gets moved. I'm serious. The whole podcast, I'll be just smiling away.
Is it going to be like that? Are you just going to have a smile on your face for like the first 10, 15 minutes, not saying a word, just an ear-to-ear smile, just like...
I'll say words, but, man, I would be smiling and happy if he gets moved. Anything you can get for him, take it.
I agree. That being said, we are here at the end of the podcast, Grumpy. What do you want to say before we wrap things up?
I just want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens, even Drew Licata. And even those who don't, from TJ and the Grumpy Old Man.
And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be with you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, stay blessed, stay healthy, stay mentally sound. We'll see you tomorrow.